Today's episode has an extended cut, available on Patreon or my main channel's membership for as little as $1. Check the links in the description if you want to find out more. Oh yeah! Halo 2, baby!
Oh no.
This is gaming! We're in the fucking gaming space now. We're no longer on your fucking art house cinema ass PlayStation 2 console. Oh, look at me. I'm Rule of Rose. I've got artistic merits and thought-provoking ideas. Okay, what if you drove a car up a big ramp and a guy on the back shot 1,000,000 aliens? Think about that.
I don't like what this is doing to you.
Xbox, Ash. The future is here. Xbox Live is going to conquer the world. It kind of did. But we're now in the beautiful present world of 2025. We're 21 years on from the creation of Halo 2. And I still love Halo 2. Ash.
Yeah, what's up, Connor?
How you doing today?
This is a different kind of show we're making today than the one we usually create.
This is
one of the ones where we're like, what's up, gamers? We're here back at it again with another Halo 2 episode.
Absolutely.
Comment down below and you could win a washer dryer.
You could win a trip to the Xbox Halo Action Ranch, where you will be able to do sweet backflips with Mountain Dew in your hands and you won't spill a single drop.
Please note, the Halo Action Ranch is a local farm in Norfolk, so it won't be quite as exciting as you're hoping it will be. But it will be green, we can promise you that.
So, Halo 2. Those of you might be wondering, why are we starting with Halo 2?
Don't worry about it.
Well, it wouldn't be the list if we didn't have some very strange, orders and reasonings that we were doing these things. But
to be fair, we did start with Resident Evil 2 as well.
We did,
so it is keeping in character for us.
That's true. We're a big fan of 2 games.
We love 2 games, yeah.
We got a lot of 2 games to come and a lot of 2 games we've already covered.
God, next week's game is a 2 game as well.
It is, yeah. It is. But there was some logic, some method behind the madness as to why we started with Halo 2.
Connor's got a little presentation to give about why he made me play the second Halo game rather than Halo 1.
Because we played this in 2021, around the same time we did Rule of Rose and Resident Evil 4, and that was right after the lockdowns and everything.
Yeah. Well, we came back from the lockdown, and the first game we played was Resident Evil 2, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. A very action-oriented era of the list.
We wanted excitement to richen our dull inside lives that we've been living for the last few months.
Yeah. Well, I was blessed with something beautiful during the 2020 lockdowns, which is that in April of 2020, Halo 2 got ported to the PC version of the Master Chief Collection.
Oh, the personal computer.
Yeah. It wasn't the first time Halo 2 made it to PC. It was an Xbox exclusive when it first got released. Yeah. Windows Vista. And it was apparently one hell of a port. It didn't quite go as well as anyone were hoping for. Apparently campaign ran fine, but multiplayer was just a pain in the ass.
This is a huge blow to the sterling reputation of Vista.
Yeah. As a result, I was playing Halo 2 sort of about a year prior, both in my own time, but also a run of Legendary difficulty with some friends of mine online. But even before then, way back when this game was coming out, I wasn't super familiar with Halo 2.
So 2004 this game came out, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How old were you in 2004, Connor?
I would have been 7.
Yeah. And your parents were quite strict about age restrictions, weren't they?
Yeah.
Because this game is a 16+, so...
It is. This is much like Time Splitters, where this is my brother's copy, but this is the one that he has had since the beginning.
So that's your original copy of Halo 2 we're looking at.
That's an
antique.
It is, and it still has...
And let me just say, you've kept it in pristine condition.
Yeah, thank you. Well, there is a reason for that, which is him and I didn't really open up Halo too much.
Really?
Yeah, so Halo 1 was very much his favourite, and it was very much mine as well. Because Halo 1, for me, was a magical experience, as it was for a lot of people.
They evolved the combat.
They did evolve the combat. It was that big system seller for Microsoft, and I was mesmerised by it. I thought it was fantastic. But then when I got a glimpse of Halo 2, while two of my brothers seemed to quite enjoy it, I wasn't particularly won over for 2 really stupid reasons.
Halo 2 reasons?
Yeah. One was they changed Master Chief's helmet, and I didn't like it as much.
Sounds about right.
And 2, they removed the assault rifle and replaced it with the SMG, and I was like, this is some bullshit.
I completely forgot there's no assault rifle in Halo 2.
No, there isn't.
We were playing it earlier today, and I thought to myself, I haven't seen an assault rifle in a while. I wonder what's going on with that.
Yeah. So I was like, the assault rifle is my favourite gun. I love shooting grunts with it. This is bullshit. I didn't pay it much mind, but I always knew it online as like, it's the middle point between Halo 1 and 3.
Yeah.
I eventually bought my own Xbox 360 when I was like 11 or 12 in order to play Halo 3, ODST, Reach.
And I'd be willing to bet that your original Xbox was not set up for Xbox Live.
No.
So you weren't really getting that benefit out of Halo 2.
No, in fact, inside of this box here, there is still a 2-month free trial for Xbox Live that has gone unscratched, unredeemed.
Dude, we should redeem that.
Oh yeah, for the service that's been down since 2010.
I like how on the back of the manual, the Xbox controller is too big to put on in its entirety, so they have to split it up.
That's how big of a fucking mammoth.
A behemoth it is.
Yeah, no wonder it didn't sell well in Japan.
Those damn Japanese. Hating my Halo.
But as a result, Halo 2 was like a sort of mystical game in the background. One where I was like, I know this is good, but when I was a wee baby boy and I had the chance to properly play this, I just never gave it a chance.
So when would you say you went back to Halo 2 to rediscover what you had left in your childhood?
That would have been 2020.
Really? That was it?
Yeah, when it came out, MCC.
You were like, now's the time.
Yeah, I gave it a proper go then. And it was great because it was like a Bungie Halo game hasn't existed since Reach.
Yeah.
Since 2010.
15 years.
Yeah.
15 long years.
Yeah. At that point, 10 years. Yeah. And so having a fresh Bungie Halo game I hadn't really cracked into, it's like Fry cracking open the last anchovies on Earth. It's like I finally get to enjoy this one more time.
I feel like for me, it's like finding a new fixed camera angle horror game.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, I haven't tasted this flavor in many years.
Which I gotta say, thank you very much, audience, on the Haunting Ground episode for the passing recommendations.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Because that's been nice to have a few more ones we can have a glimpse at.
100%, yeah.
But yeah, I got to play it and I really enjoyed it.
Just to confirm, I know this is probably obvious to people that know your channel, but you're kind of a Halo nut, right? Like you love Halo.
Yeah.
I would say Halo was like one of the core pillars with like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and stuff like that.
Yeah. Dawn of
Fire
War.
Emblem.
But that was reason number one. To me, I was like, hell yeah, this game's really fresh to me. I really want to share it with more people.
Yeah.
But reason number two is more to do with your history of Halo.
That's right.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what your connection is with this series before I ramble?
Yes, I will take my moment to have my little speech before you consume us with your Halo knowledge. I received for Christmas in 2004 an Xbox original, and it came with 4 games. It came with a racing game that was like Project Gotham Racing or something like that.
I think I've got that.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
I never played it. I got The Lord of the Rings, The Third Age.
Oh, the Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, which was dangerous because that game is just Final Fantasy X. But then it also came with Fable 1, which I love, I adore. We will be playing Fable 2 at some point, so we can get back to that. But then the 4th game was Halo Combat Evolved.
Oh.
Yeah. Which I didn't have in a case.
Oh, it was just
I had in like a plastic seal like Wii Sports. This is part of the mystery that I was trying to unravel while preparing for this episode, because I must have got this Xbox in 2004 because Fable 1 was out.
Yeah.
And Fable 1 came out in 2004. So why didn't it come with Halo 2?
I guess because it was like the new hotness, it was the system seller. They were trying to get people
separately,
to...
Yeah. So because of that, I had a great deal of experience playing Halo 1, although I could never get past the silent cartographer in the campaign.
Really?
Because I kept getting lost.
Okay, that makes sense for that level. That level is an entire island. It's a whole circle.
Yeah, it's really complicated.
If you can't navigate the very samey looking Forerunner ruins, you can just be like, where the fuck am I going?
And I think I got to a bit where you had to fight 2 hunters. I was terrified and was like, no one can do that.
Well,
this is an insurmountable challenge. Like, honestly, I can remember playing it in my old house when I was like 8, and it's like one of the most vivid memories of my childhood that I have. It was that impactful on me. But I never had Halo 2.
No.
Like, obviously, I had got an Xbox really late into the game, and I had Halo 1, so my Halo lust was satisfied. So the next Halo that I ended up playing was Halo 3, which I got with my Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Along with Lost Odyssey.
Which
I played and was like, this game is stupid. And let me tell you, now that I like JRPGs, that game is still stupid. But when I was a youth, I was very much a very mainstream kind of gamer. Like, I played Halo, I played Call of Duty. I would have said my favorite games were things like Fallout 3 and Left 4 Dead and Bioshock. Yeah. But for some reason, upon the release of Bioshock Infinite, which is the game of all of our lives, I guess, I played it all the way through and I really enjoyed it. I was a child, please forgive me. But I just finished it and I was like, that's it. I have no more interest in this kind of game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done with this now. So I went on many self-discovery journeys to CEX to buy Final Fantasy X too.
Yeah.
And being like, this game is stupid, but I'm going to keep playing it. Until eventually I'm just like, this game's cool.
It's got cool girls in it.
Let me tell you about Tokyo Xanadu. point I'm trying to make is that actually, despite my reputation on the show from all the games that I pick, I have actually played a lot of Halo in my youth, and I would say some of my fondest and strongest childhood memories is of playing Halo 3 and Halo Reach with you and other Xbox Live denizens.
Yeah. Because I think I must have known when I picked Halo 2 that you had played a bit of Halo 1, but it was so long ago.
Yeah.
But I remember that given your most vivid memories were with 3 and Reach, I figured what would make the most sense for us to do for our list was to jump into a Halo game that was more similar to those.
Yeah,
and that's why I thought, let's pick 2.
Yeah.
It's more fresh to you, you've not played it before, it's still fresh in my memory, and honestly, Halo 2 is just like a Halo 3 prototype in a lot of ways.
It does feel like that,
Where Halo 1 is so drastically different that I had a lot of fear you wouldn't really enjoy it.
Okay.
On the revisit. So.
I mean, that's how I felt about making you play the Resident Evil 1 remake, because as much as I think that game is basically perfectly designed, the fixed camera angles and tank controls are a turn-off to a lot of people. They are hard to get to grips with.
Yeah, we did eventually play the Resident Evil 1 remake.
Yes,
but
and we do intend to play Halo 1 at some point in the vague future.
Yeah. But let's talk about Halo 2, shall we?
Halo 2, baby. Let's go.
A game with probably Bungie's most tumultuous developments.
Yeah, I was doing a quick scan of, information that we knew about the Halo 2 development cycle, and I was just reading it with, an increasing expression of, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That did not go well for them.
If you ever see any of the behind the scenes of a Halo 2, those people look exhausted. Yeah. They talk about it with such lamentation and cynicism about it.
I was reading a quote today from one of the lead developers that Microsoft told them they had to get it out by winter 2002. And they were just
God.
What are you talking about? That's not gonna happen.
No, yeah, because of the pressure of how well Halo 1 did. They were like,
we have to go bigger, better, more content, more campaign, more multiplayer.
Yeah.
Xbox Live compatibility. We need to go everywhere.
Yeah.
Should we hire more people to make it? I don't know.
Yeah. Flashier graphics, a bunch of advanced tech. They started building a new engine.
I think they were talking about doing a massive scale multiplayer mode, right? That just got cut from the entire game.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few infamous quotes from this time, but one of them, in my opinion, is a developer saying that the maps are going to be 10 times bigger than anything in Halo 1. And that is
bigger than Blood Gulch?
I don't think there's a single map in Halo 2 that's bigger than the second level of Halo 1. I honestly don't think so.
Well, didn't they have a really infamous E3 demonstration of Halo 2 that was complete bullshit or something?
Yes, yeah. So they had queues of people that they have to bring in batches to go watch this demo, which has a pre-recorded message from Sergeant Johnson saying that this is a real-time feed, it's no smoke and mirrors bullcrap, and it was running this prototype version of the game that could not run on an original Xbox. So in practice, it kind of did become smoke and mirrors because what they released was not that game.
I think the quote that I read was that Bungie had no management. They had people who were in charge of individual teams, and all the individual teams would just make stuff randomly without talking to each other.
Yeah.
So no one knew what anyone was doing, and they would all come together and be like, none of these things work together. We just made a bunch of random shit that doesn't make any sense.
God, that explains the interviews, because they say a lot in those interviews about how they don't have any design fidelity.
Yeah.
They just have a bunch of stuff and none of it's polished, so they had to start cutting. And they were really upset with what they had to get rid of. Theater mode was going to be in Halo 2.
Yeah.
And that only came back in Halo 3.
I mean, Halo 2 was meant to finish the story.
It was meant to finish.
And they were like, shit, we can't do that.
They kept slicing out levels, which meant changing cutscenes they'd already made, and it meant having to splice in bits of levels they'd already done into ones that they were having to put in the final build.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, Microsoft was still really pushing this as their big tentpole game.
Apparently, Microsoft were going to have a vote, basically, to say, okay, either you release this game now or you're fucked, basically. And one of the people who was in charge of the Microsoft game division at the time had to threaten to quit, stop them from doing it, so they had more time to make it.
Holy shit.
Microsoft were like, you're putting this out now, we need this, the Xbox is floundering, all we've got is Voodoo Vince, fucking show up, okay?
Yeah. Oh god, well that makes a lot of sense, because this game's release was being covered on the news. And
this game's release is one of the first big blockbuster game releases. It was being advertised in cinemas, it was on the news, it was such a massive thing, especially in the US.
Yeah, so much...
And here in the UK as well, to be fair.
It was, although Halo and Xbox in general is very much more of a North American thing. But I have a quote here saying that it released 2.4 million sales within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Nowadays, a big AAA game can do that quite easily, although a lot of them don't. But in this case, that was insane.
Yeah, and that was on an install base of 21 million Xboxes.
Yeah.
That was a 10% attach rate within the first day of release.
Yes, yeah. So the hype was crazy for it.
Yeah.
And the thing is that people eventually got the game in their hands, they started playing it, and the thing is that for everything in Halo 2 that was half-baked, disappointing, confusing, or rage-inducing, there was just as many things that were mind-blowing, pioneering, revolutionary, that won people over and give this game a very beloved reputation.
Yeah.
Even in spite of the people that really did not like things about it when it came out.
Because honestly, like, my impression of this game, having never played it before we did it together for the list, was that it didn't have a very good reputation. Like, I heard all the things about, like, how the campaign was really short and rushed, and it had that weird cliffhanger ending, and it was just, like, it felt like a bit of a stopgap between Halo 1 and 3.
Yeah, I think it's just because maybe I look about it more from, like, we've since had the 343 Industries games, and those are,
Which makes all the bunch of games look better by comparison.
Yeah. And so as a result of that, a lot of people are just like, hell yeah, Halo 2, that's one of the best ones. And it's like, if you were playing multiplayer matchmaking on Xbox Live, you probably, yeah. Maybe we should get into the general premise of Halo 2 so that we can...
I want to talk about the multiplayer maps.
Oh, don't worry, we'll have our chance. We'll have our chance to talk about coagulation.
Well, tell me about your big green boy you love.
My beautiful big green boy.
Yeah, tell me about Shrek.
I love Shrek. Shrek 2 came out this year. This is a direct sequel to Halo 1, which ends with the main character, Master Chief, this cybernetic super soldier, and his AI companion, Cortana, being utterly stranded in space after destroying a massive superweapon called Halo, built by an ancient race known as the Forerunners that have long since gone missing.
Critical to the belief system of an alien covenant who are attacking humanity.
Yes, yeah.
So anyway, they blew up the Halo ring.
And they're going to be stranded in space for, like, what they claim to be years.
Yeah.
We then cut to 2 months later in-game, and Master Chief is already back at Earth. But that's not the shot that opens Halo 2. The shot that opens Halo 2 is the ring from Halo 1 being destroyed and surrounded by these tiny Covenant ships and the gigantic floating city of High Charity, where we see this commander of the Covenant being basically put on trial against the other leaders of the Covenant, this hierarch of 3 wizened old aliens that are claiming that he's heretics.
Yeah, and he's like a Turian, right?
Yes, for those of you more Mass Effect inclined, this guy is the Turian of the Covenant. Very good comparison, actually.
Yeah, they're very similar in my mind.
Yeah.
What is the elite's real race name, Connor?
Sangheli.
Yeah, there he goes.
And
you learned that on Duolingo.
If you want to speak Covenant. But they basically are talking about how it's a disgrace that this commander has been, has allowed Halo, one of the most important discoveries of the Covenant, to be destroyed, and as a result, he's going to be publicly humiliated and executed.
Well, it's quite amusing, right? Because in Halo 1, don't they find the Halo 1 ring just by accident?
Yeah, they do.
They just teleport to it, and they're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it's the ship with Master Chief and Cortana on it is, like, fleeing this great battle. The Pillar of Autumn.
That's one of my favourite ship names. It's so good.
Bungie have, like, 2 types of names, one of which are the most beautiful, poetic sci-fi names in existence. Pillar of Autumn, In Amber Clad, High Charity, like, all of these things. And then on the other hand, they have the Ark, that protects you from the Flood. And it's like, oh, someone's been picking up the Bible.
Put it down, you gotta make Halo.
But before everyone can go and turn off their Xboxes because there isn't enough green on the screen, we then cut to Earth, where Master Chief is getting ready for a ceremony to celebrate the successful destruction of Halo and the prevention of all life in the galaxy being wiped out by it. So it's like a parallel.
I love these 2 scenes put up against each other because it's obviously showing the Master Chief at the height of his fame and acclaim, and the Arbiter, who was the commander who was being shamed at his lowest point.
Yeah.
And there's like a duality there that I think is really, really engaging.
Yeah, it's a really cool opening.
Especially since in Halo 1, the Covenant don't really have much world building.
Yeah.
They're kind of just like the purple evil aliens who you're fighting. Whereas here you get to see their culture and their society and how they operate, and it's kind of like, oh cool, this world is bigger now.
Yeah, that was the focus from the writer, was that he actually wanted to focus on the concept of like, okay, imagine you were in charge of the Covenant fleet that went to Halo, and Master Chief just fucking did that.
Yeah.
What the hell would happen to you? And
like starting that legacy of Master Chief as the demon in Covenant lore, like I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and it means that you get to explore that side of the universe in a method that isn't a tie-in novel.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, for as many people who hated this side of the story, there were so many more that were like, fuck yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm really into the Covenant stuff. I think it makes that world feel so much richer. Like, it makes it feel beyond an arcadey, there are evil aliens shooting you. Like, you feel like they have a culture that you can understand in a way. Yeah. Rather than they're just the funny guys you shoot.
Yeah. Which admittedly, they're great. as funny
they're
guys.
They're really
that you
good
shoot.
at that, but they also have depth.
Yeah. So Cortana notifies everyone in the ceremony that their Covenant fleet has reached Earth, and so they're going to need to man their battle stations and get ready to repel them. And you play a few levels trying to protect the Earth from the Covenant invasion, but after that you switch back to this elite who is being taken back to the Hierarchs after being publicly humiliated, and they go, hey, listen, you did fuck up, but you're too useful to us.
Yeah.
You're a very skilled warrior, so we want to basically give you the title of Arbiter, which is effectively like one of the highest honors you can have as an elite, but it's also a permanent suicide mission. It's like you are our most capable missionary, but we also expect you to kick the bucket because of how deadly your encounters are.
I mean, it kind of speaks to the elite's position in Covenant society as the warrior caste, that their highest honor is to be sent on the most dangerous missions. Yeah.
The elites are very much the very common warrior archetype of sci-fi.
They've got real samurai vibes.
They do. And so the game has you kind of like switching perspectives between these two. The Master Chief trying to defeat the Covenant before they can bring humanity to its knees, and the Arbiter who is skulking around helping the Prophets with their own little tasks.
I think that kind of leads to one of the main controversies around this game, right? Because they did not market the Arbiter stuff at all.
No, it was a complete shock to everyone.
It's so weird that two different games did that during this generation, with Metal Gear 2 doing the same thing with Raiden.
Yeah, and it's the fact that Metal Gear 2 had come out, and Bungie could see how people reacted to it, and they just went, let's just do that.
Well, maybe in their minds they were like, well, the Arbiter isn't as dorky as Raiden, so maybe people will be into it.
Yeah, the Arbiter's voiced by Keith David.
Yeah, the Arbiter's cool.
He's a cool guy. I love
Raiden's
the Arbiter.
fucking stupid.
They had to give him 2 different sets of cybernetic enhancements
They
before
did
people
try and
liked
salvage him.
You have to just make Master Chief. He's already got him.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you just start off with that. But that's the general premise of Halo 2.
In keeping with the mission statement of make this game bigger, is a much bigger story than what Halo 1 was telling.
Yeah.
Halo 1 is telling the story of you are stranded on an alien world, figure out what's going on. Halo 2 is more about the widening of this war and exploring different sides of it, which I think is a good way to make a sequel.
It is, yeah. And I will say that like it certainly goes some directions. The defending Earth stuff is realistically about 3 missions out of 15, but it is something that like I really respect for what they're doing. And they do go, okay, people really liked the mystery of the ring world in Halo 1, so they do kind of bring those elements back.
But I guess the point I'm trying to say is that it feels like more of like a journey over a great span of time, whereas Halo 1 felt like a continuous, you are on the Halo ring, that is the mission here. Whereas this feels like it kind of changes and evolves as you go through the campaign. Yeah. You can clearly cut it into different acts in a way that doesn't feel like Master Chief has just spent 3 entire days awake and had to kill 1 million dudes. Don't get me wrong, he still does that. But yeah, do we want to talk about how Halo is played, or do we have more to share about? Well, we'll have more to talk about the campaign later, so let's get into the gameplay.
Splendid, I would love to.
Halo's gameplay, honestly, it seems simple on the surface, but when you dig into it, I feel like there's a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, I think this is one of those games that's easy to take for granted, because Halo was a tentpole franchise, not just for the Xbox, but for first-person shooters.
Yeah. Please refer back to our Time Splitters episode to learn how first-person shooters were played before this game came out.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was a comparison I wanted to make. Like, first-person shooters weren't particularly standardized. They were still experimentation going on.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of different variations, with Time Splitters having the weird, like, almost trying to emulate an arcade machine, having the little reticule.
It's like the reticule's always snapping back to the center, and you're making little adjustments rather than just moving the camera as you would freely in Halo. Yeah,
where the center of the screen is where you are shooting. That is the focus, the twin stick method. But there's also other things that you will see in every game nowadays. A 2-weapon system, like
regenerating health.
Yeah, regenerating health. Levels designed for vehicles properly. They're not just like tacked on. And I think as a result of that, the original Halo really hit a golden zone of being accessible by having the regenerating health being a really good way to give you like a second chance, really, to keep going. But it also encouraged experimentation by keeping it simple. Like, if in a Doom or a Quake or a Half-Life, you can carry everything, and that's really fun. But Halo encourages you to go, if you're out of ammo for that gun, pick another one up and see what you can do with it.
It's funny as well, because I feel like a lot of these gameplay innovations or introductions are kind of reviled these days.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously the 2-weapon limit and the regenerating health became facets of, like, shooter culture during this generation and the next generation. And I understand and agree with those criticisms, but I feel like for the game Halo is, they totally worked.
Yeah, because Halo had a really good weapon sandbox. It had really good variety.
Yeah.
Like, it was giving you a difficult choice of, okay, I could potentially take 2 power weapons with me. I could take a sniper and a rocket launcher, but I have no close range.
Yeah,
I have no middle ground. Like, what if a million bugs fly from the sky? I'm going to rocket them? What if I miss? And I really like that angle of it. It just, these things became aspects of lazy game design later.
Yeah.
When less...
But like many innovations, when you just apply them to other games without thinking about their effect on the balance, it becomes bad. But it wasn't bad when they did it.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Master Chief's speed. He doesn't move as fast as, like... Really, like, Time Splitters characters move faster,
or as fast
it feels
as fucking
like.
Gordon Freeman goes.
Yeah, when
he
fucking...
speeds off across Black Mesa.
Yeah. But that's because they're making these levels with vehicles, so they're trying to encourage you to, like, interact with that sandbox. Although I will say on the vehicle aspect, I think Halo 2 does significantly better on that, because Halo 1's was rough around the edges.
I will also say that I enjoy Master Chief not being very fast, because I think it better sells the fact that he is this hulking man in power armor, rather than like a speed demon who flies across the map.
Yeah.
Feels hefty, you know?
Yeah.
Like even when you jump so slowly.
Yeah, it's like you got moon gravity.
Yeah.
And it's really funny. But there was quite a few things that Halo 2 mixed up to refine these things. For instance, there is no more fall damage. They cut that out from Halo 1.
Which is so much fun.
Yeah.
When they brought fall damage back for Halo Reach, that was devastating.
I was like, no!
And they were like, it's because the Spartans freeze aren't as good as the Spartan 2, so they would take fall damage. And it's like, why would you uninvent fall damage?
Well, it's the same with health bars.
Yeah.
You had your shields as regenerating health, but you also had little health bar pips that you need to heal with.
Yeah, it was like that in Halo 1 as well, right?
Yeah. And so they removed that in Halo 2. You just have an invisible regenerating health bar that only gets affected when your shields are down.
Yeah. Really great sound design on the shield as well. Like, all the beeps that indicate the different states are really, really distinct, and it's so much fun. Like when you start hearing the boop, 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 and you're like, no!
Yeah, it puts you in panic mode.
Yeah.
There's some really beautiful sounds in Halo sound design I really love. Like, they've lived on forever.
Marty and his crazy friends.
Oh my god. I'm so excited to talk about Marty and his crazy friends. There's smaller changes like them changing up the UI to, in my opinion, actually make it worse.
Yeah.
But there's also things that, like, enhance the combat. They don't, like, radically change the game, but they just give you some new options.
Yeah.
For instance, dual wielding. If you want a pistol, like, you can pick up a second one in your second hand, or pick up a plasma gun, or all these other weapons, and you can mix and match.
Or the new SMG.
Yeah, the SMG that they replaced my beloved assault rifle with.
Is the battle rifle new as well?
Yes, the battle rifle's a new weapon in this. It's like a really fun way to mix up the sandbox by having these little mix and match weapons. There is one thing the elites have as a feather in their cap in this game, which is that if you're driving a vehicle and you're not directly running one of them over or shooting them to pieces, they can actually grab onto your Warthog or Ghost or whatever it is you're driving and pull you out of it. And that's something that you can very much do back to the Covenant.
Yeah, and the multiplayer as well.
It means that now your solution to a vehicle isn't just, oh, I have to find a big enough weapon or chuck enough grenades to blow it up. It is now straight up, no, if I'm careful enough, if I can sneak myself over there, I can come into them... Whoa! Whoa!
Listen, man.
I can jump onto them, and I can beat the crap out of the hull and pull them out. It's fantastic.
I can eat their ass.
I can eat their ass.
Eat them up.
Eat them up, boys. It is.
Although that does lead to many, many occasions in both the campaign and multiplayer where I'm like, no, Connor, check it out. I'm going to hijack this.
Yeah. Because everyone can see you. They can still shoot you.
They can just slightly turn the car to the side and just get you. Like.
Or if they're really ballsy, they'll just start driving off the edge with you on it. So it's like, if I'm going down, they go off a cliff with you.
Idiots, I always spawn. So.
There's a real Looney Tunes energy sometimes to combat with the grunts running around and like the physics and everything.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of these smaller enhancements that really makes the gameplay just like, mwah.
Yeah.
Like it really evolves the combat.
It takes the Halo experience to the next level. Pre-orders open now.
Yeah. We're really good advertisements for games from 20 years ago, aren't we?
Oh yeah, if we were alive back then, things would have been different.
Think about how many more copies of Rule of Rose would have been sold.
At least 7 more.
Yeah. But these things like really help enhance what Halo 1 had already built upon, revolutionized, and turned it into something that was far more refined. And like, some people are fine with this. They all settle for Halo 2 being the peak of the series.
Yeah.
I'm personally a lot more fond of like 3 and Reach, but like I think those build on that even better. But it's a really good baseline for gameplay in so many ways.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah. Actually, before we go on, Connor, could you tell me a little bit about the Dance of Death?
Oh, what the Covenant dance?
Yeah, like the way the gunplay feels against other opponents that makes it distinct from other shooters.
Yeah, it's important to note that like there's a really good sort of enemy variety in Halo that allows you to make the most of these weapons. It's the reason why they encourage the two-weapon system to experiment.
Yeah.
It's because you'll have enemies with shields, enemies without, like bigger guys, little guys, flying guys, that sort of thing.
Like every enemy type is a different faction of the Covenant, and none of them are the same.
Yeah. And I still think that Halo is like one of the gold standards for this. And I'd love to elaborate a little bit more on the newer enemies in a moment, but even if we just focus on the Halo 1 lineup...
Yeah. You've got the Elites, the Grunts, the Hunters...
And the Jackals.
The Jackals.
Those are the
Halo 1.
Those are the only four in Halo 1, yeah.
That's a good lineup there.
Yeah, like, Jackals have these shields, so it's a case of, okay, you can't, like, shoot through the shields, but if you get them in the hand, they'll flinch. The Grunts are just, like, your front-line infantry, they're, like, fodder.
Yeah.
They do really turn the tables on you, though, when they have grenades, or if they're carrying the fuel rod, which is their rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I'll have to prioritize the Elites, because they're the bigger guys, or the Jackals, because they're a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Grunt just walks up with a launcher, and it's like, never fucking mind, get that guy.
Well, we wouldn't see Suicide Grunts until Reach, right?
Not until 3.
Not until 3, yeah.
The Elites being the leader units, they have these energy shields. They're quite strong. But when you take them down, you can see the Jackals and Grunts flee in terror because
there's actually a line from the first mission of the campaign that I really enjoy, which is your first engagement with the Covenant, where it's like you and a squadron of soldiers are like waiting for a bulk door to open, unveiling the Covenant, and one of the Marines just yells, "All right, they're in their standard formation, big guys at the back, small guys in the front." And is there someone addressing that the Covenant do have like tactics that I think is really fun?
Yeah, and that reflects their AI as well, because like the Elites will roll out of the way of things.
Yeah, they're good like that. Whereas the Grunts will just run at you going, "Ah!"
Yeah, they will. They don't want to be there.
No, they fucking suck, the Grunts, yeah.
And then you've got the Hunters, which is like your mix-up, your like boss encounter.
Yeah, like mini-bosses, yeah.
They always come in pairs, they're equipped with these anti-tank guns.
When are you going to talk about the new enemies?
Yeah, gladly. Because in some cases, there will be newer iterations of existing ones. For instance, there are some Elites that have, like, jetpacks that will, like, fly around.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
But there's also some cases, like in the Arbiters levels, where you're fighting against a Renegade Covenant, and they do have different behavior.
Okay.
Like, the Grunts are tougher, and they are far more frantic in them shooting you.
Okay.
Like, Grunts will normally just, like, fire a couple of needles at you and, like, call it a day. But these ones, they will try to unload the entire clip into you to try and blow you up.
Yeah,
and like it doesn't work out well for them, but
it's a great little story to tell as well, because I imagine those Grunts are the most like empowered feeling Grunts of all time, because they're trying to resist the fact that they've been impressed into the Covenant army.
Yeah. So like they're really like laying into you because you're their enemy number one.
Yeah.
But there are also the Jackal snipers, because Jackals didn't have precision weapons in Halo 1.
Really?
The Covenant had no precision weapons in Halo 1.
They didn't have the Covenant carbine?
They did not have the Covenant carbine or the beam rifle.
The beam rifle.
Which, if you're playing on Legendary difficulty, a Jackal will just relentlessly, mercilessly just blow your head off at any given opportunity with those things. It makes for some really good encounters of you like having to counter-snipe them with your own weapons. But then you've got newer races of the Covenant, like the drones, the flying bugs that like they just harass you.
Yeah, they're a huge pain in the ass.
They're a pain in the ass, but I kind of like that they're there.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're a good element of variety to prevent tunnel vision. But then there are the Brutes.
Oh, the Brutes.
A counterpart to the Elites who aren't these, like, honorable tactician warriors. They're just, like, brute force. They're not as strong as a hunter, but they have a much more direct way of trying to fight you. They don't have shields, but they have, like, armor. The idea being that, like, if you've got headshot weapons, you want to blow their helmets off before you can headshot them.
Yeah.
And in a group of brutes, if one brute is left standing, they will enter a rage mode where they are the biggest pain in the fucking ass of any fucking thing in existence.
They'll just scream and run at you and just start bashing you in. It's infuriating.
Because you might just think, oh, okay, like, he's dropped his weapon and he's going to melee me. I can handle that. No, they are so quick. And they will just 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, there's little delay in their attacks. Like, you have to deal with them quickly or you are dead.
Yeah.
This is probably still, like, the most unique and hardest iteration of the Brutes in any of the Halo games, because they have the Elites as a direct counterpart to compare them to in combat. They feel very unique, but very overtuned, as I feel about Legendary difficulty in general. It feels like this was very much an era of the developers got way too good at their own game.
Yeah.
But they're still quite a cool part of the sandbox, really.
Yeah.
Have I missed any enemies to talk about? I guess there are returning ones as well in the form of the Sentinels, which are the constructs that protect Halo.
Yeah.
You do fight a few of those in Halo 2. Why do you ask? We'll get to that.
Stay tuned.
They're just like these flying enemies with these like laser beams, and they aren't too hard to deal with, really. They're like pretty decent.
Yeah.
But then there's the Flood.
We always forget about that rascally Flood.
Always forget about the Flood until you get to a mission where you're like, fuck, I have to deal with the Flood again.
I know, they're using horror tropes. The Flood are coming. Oh, bother.
Oh no, it's getting spooky.
Alright, fellas, this mission's set at night time, so we're either going to be sniping or the Flood are coming.
Or there'll be invisible elites.
Oh, good.
The Flood drastically mix up the gameplay, the idea being they are this parasitic mass that tries to consume all sentient life in the galaxy. So if there are fallen troops near you, they will have these little crawly guys that will climb up to them.
It's very the thing.
Yeah, they'll reanimate the bodies, and those bodies will get up, pick up the nearest weapon, and start trying to fight you.
And they're much less intelligent, and they're much less fun to fight.
They are a lot less fun to fight. The Flood are one of those enemies that's always cool in concept.
Yeah.
But they've never quite nailed it. I think Halo 3 is the closest.
I mean, Halo 3, considering that I didn't get that far into Halo 1 and didn't play Halo 2, was the first time I ever saw the Flood, was when they were introduced in Halo 3.
Really?
And I thought for the longest time they weren't in Halo 1 or 2. I thought they were a Halo 3 thing, and I was like, this is crazy, this changes the whole game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you ever beat Halo 1, then Halo 2 and 3's Flood feel very... The impact's very deflated. Halo 1 sets them up in a really cool way.
No, honestly, learning that they were in Halo 1 and 2 made me like them less.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were like a late game change that twisted the entire dynamic, but they've just been there the whole time. They keep showing up like, it's us, the Flood.
They are quite distinct from the Covenant. They have some unique enemy types, like the carriers that will explode, and they'll drop little infection forms that will, like, crawl around. And those infection forms, like, they feel harmless. They'll jump at you and just bounce off your shields, and you'll lose a bit of shield, and you'll be like, haha, useless, until you have no shields. And then if one of them touches you, you're dead.
Yeah, then the Master Chief's a bug.
And then they make the Master Chief a bug, which is fucked up.
You can't do that.
You don't want that.
Don't want a master bug.
Ew! Gross! Get them out of here! But the Flood combat forms, which is the bulk of what you'll be fighting, will depend on which enemies the infection forms are possessed.
Yeah.
Human ones, brute ones, and elite ones have different sort of like elements to them. Like elite ones will still have shields, for instance. But they are like an interesting mix-up in a few cases, but the Covenant are just better designed.
Yeah.
They're a cool aesthetic, and they're a cool style, but...
What can you do?
One improvement to the Flood from Halo 1, though, is that in Halo 1, you can kill a Flood combat form and it will just get back up and come back, and it's random. Whereas in Halo 2, it's at least obvious that, no, an infection form has gone up to it and reanimated it. Okay. The only way you can prevent that is if you have utterly destroyed the body.
Okay.
But that's the general enemy variety.
Connor spent hours of his use dismembering Halo corpses.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Tearing them apart. Yeah. I mean, I did see people used to do a thing where they would try to deliberately knock the arms off a Flood infection form, so they would just follow them around and be like, oh, it's my guys, look at them go!
Let's go, boy!
They made good distractions against Covenant if you were encountering them in the same missions. But there is one other unique element to Halo 2 that doesn't appear in any other Halo game except for Halo Infinite. Boss fights!
Yo, and what boss fights they are!
They're not good.
Oh, no!
So if you're not playing on Legendary difficulty, they're really flaccid. There's one when you're the Arbiter and you're fighting the heretic leader. He'll do this thing where he'll deploy 2 holograms in the cutscene. You'll know that they're like duplicates. So all I do is I just walk around them, use the energy sword, and just hit him twice and he dies.
There's a really exciting one towards the end of the campaign where you punch an old man twice.
Yeah.
That one's pretty huge.
Yeah, if you just like, you end up fighting one of the prophets, Fighting, yeah. You jump onto his, like, floating chair he's on, punch him in the face a few times, and he dies.
Which I guess fair.
Yeah, because he is just a frail old man, and you are the Master Chief, and you can fucking flip tanks over like it's nothing. But that's another one of those fights that lacks a lot of luster in its regular difficulties. Same for the final boss against the Brute Chieftain Tartarus, which is...
huge character.
All you do is you wait for someone to shoot his shields down, and then you fill him with lead and he dies. And it's like, well.
What a battle it was.
The only fight where an energy sword is a bad idea. Because he has a big fuck-off hammer. There is also kind of a mini-boss. There is a Forerunner type I've kind of neglected to mention.
Yeah.
There are these giant Forerunner enemies called Enforcers that appear later in the game, where they have multiple limbs and you have to blow them off to destroy them entirely. Like, they have a little shield on the front,
God,
and they fire like mortar missiles and that kind of thing. And the first mission you encounter them, they are set up like a boss fight, like a unique boss fight.
Yeah.
And they're kind of fun in that regard, but then they just become a regular enemy and you're like, yeah, okay.
Okay, well,
It's fine.
fair enough.
It's like the Hunters in Halo 1, where it's like you have your cool boss fight with the Hunters, but then they just keep coming back, and you're like, this has lost its luster a bit. So, let's talk about the tools of the trade that you would use.
You have many guns in this game, which you can use to kill alien scum.
Yeah, more than Halo 1.
More than Halo 1. Maybe less than Halo 1 somehow.
Yeah, that'd be very disappointing.
We took out the shotgun.
Like, Halo 1's lineup were fun to use, but they were a fairly basic lineup.
Yeah.
You know, you had your machine gun, your pistol, your sniper shotgun, your rocket launcher. They had their own twists on them. I was always fond of the rocket launcher having the 2 rockets that would, like, spin around. That's always fun.
And it's one of the video game's best shotguns.
Yeah.
Because you also have Covenant weapons as well, right, in Halo 1?
You do, and although they are also kind of analogues, like the plasma pistol, plasma rifle, that sort of thing, they do have different combat roles in Halo 1, where they're a lot better against shields than against flesh.
The Covenant guns are a bit more, like, gimmicky, quote-unquote.
Yeah.
But they have different utility, basically.
Yeah. Honestly speaking, the Halo 1 Magnum, the pistol, is massively overtuned. Like, it was way too strong for that game. Really fun, but Bungie...
Not good for balance.
No, Bungie knew that it was ridiculous, and they were like, okay, we're going to later adapt this kind of weapon into a different one into the battle rifle, but the Magnum itself, as it comes in Halo 2, is a drastically different weapon. It's like they went from having a Desert Eagle, and they turned it into, like, a Glock.
Yeah.
Although in-game, it feels more like a pea shooter. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It can technically headshot. Its fire rate is super, super fast, but it just doesn't feel good compared to the Halo 1 one. It's completely in its shadow, and I think it's definitively the worst Halo pistol.
Yeah.
Which is a damn shame.
Although I wonder if Halo 2 was the first Halo game, it would have felt at the power level that you'd expect a pistol to be at in a normal game.
Yeah.
But because you have the comparison with the Halo 1 gun, it makes it feel weak.
Yeah, I think in any other game it'd be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like how Half-Life 1 and 2's pistol doesn't feel that great. Especially compared to the other weapons, but that makes sense. It's your first gun.
Yeah.
And you're only really going to have it as like a backup afterwards. But Halo, it's like, what are you doing? You have primary and secondary. These 2 guns are your lifeblood until you get another. And it's like, you kind of want them all to feel good.
Yeah.
But the battle rifle was maybe another slightly too overtuned hit, although I think that was by accident. The battle rifle is a 3-burst precision rifle, and it does have a pretty decent niche on there. But it did become quite a powerful weapon in its own right, because think about it this way. If you're constantly shooting at an elite's head, or even the head of an opponent in multiplayer, if in that 3-round burst, 2 of those shots are enough to down the shield after wailing on it enough, that 3rd shot will instantly headshot them and they'll be down like that.
To be honest, if I got shot 3 times in the head, I wouldn't be able to tank that.
No.
I would do badly with that.
I don't think you have quite the same power as the Master Chief, unfortunately.
Wow, way to rank your friends. I have other qualities that he doesn't have, okay?
I love this implication that Master Chief is one of my friends.
Yeah, that's what you always say to me.
Master Chief is my best friend.
Yeah, so watch your mouth.
I want to invite him to my birthday party this year.
But he never comes.
He does, he's too busy.
He's finishing the fight.
Yes, he's finishing the fight. He's always sleeping in his frosty tube.
I feel like at this point in the Halo development timeline, Master Chief is living in a tent. And he rocks up and he's like, how's the next Halo game coming? 343? And they're like, oh yeah, whatever.
Come on, we'll get back to you on that, buddy.
It's just 2 guys rubbing a stick together like, is this doing it? No.
Live service? Because you now play as the Arbiter and you play half the game as an elite, Bungie kind of felt like you needed to have Covenant analogues to the human weapons. So the SMG kind of being an analog for the plasma rifle makes sense, but they kind of give the Covenant their own version of the battle rifle called the Covenant Carbine. The Covenant Carbine isn't a 3-shot weapon, it does like 1 large round, but it's not as good, in my opinion.
Okay.
It feels like it spreads around, it's not as fun to shoot, and it doesn't have that same effect of, if, 2 bullets break the shield, the 3rd one will do a headshot. It's not as dynamic in that way. But it's not really the end of the world, it's just kind of like an part of the design. But there have been small alterations made to other weapons, either just in the case of like Halo 2's mechanics, changing them up naturally. Like,
I think one of the craziest changes is that the rocket launcher is 0.5% bigger.
The rocket launcher does have a big change.
There you go.
Which is that it can lock onto vehicles now.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not recall this.
It's the only game in the series where it does this. The only other one being Reach, where you can lock onto flying vehicles.
Yes, because that's very important for some of the missions, isn't it?
Yeah, but like it can't lock onto like ghosts or wraiths or warthogs or anything like that.
Of course it can't lock onto ghosts, Connor. Don't be silly.
I gotta tell you, like, going from this game to, like, Fatal Frame, when we get to doing that, like, that's gonna be, like...
Yeah, we have to make that meme of the two arms handshaking of shooting ghosts.
Yeah, that would be good. Master Chief Mio shooting ghosts.
I feel like if Master Chief tried to shake Mio's hand, he would crush all the bones in her body.
Yeah, poor guy doesn't know his strength. Yeah, it's a wonder how he could even hold those weapons without snapping them in two.
Yeah.
But there's also new additions that are like added to the arsenal as well. I feel like among the highlights you would have the good old energy sword.
Yo!
Fucking baller ass weapon.
Was the energy sword in Halo 1?
The elites were carrying them in Halo 1.
Could you not use it?
No, you couldn't use it yourself. But the energy sword in Halo 2 is insane.
Yeah.
The idea being that, obviously, this is a first-person shooter. Why the fuck would you bring a knife to a gunfight? Well, because one, you idiot, it's basically a one-hit kill in multiplayer anyway. Yeah. But also, the idea being that in order to help you close the distance, you will do this lunge when the reticle goes red. So you'll just go flying towards them. And
it's like that perk in Modern Warfare 2.
Yes, it's like Commando.
Yeah.
And I bet Commando was inspired by the Halo 2 energy sword, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, you fly across the map, it's crazy.
Yeah, and sometimes with Halo 2's physics, you can almost kind of like go flying.
It's like doing the Sonic homing attack.
Yeah.
Like it feels like that.
Yeah, it does.
Even to the fact that you sometimes bounce off guys when you hit them with the sword.
I love the idea of the Arbiter jumping up, turning into a ball, and just jumping on brutes. That would be pretty good.
Freeing the animals trapped inside.
I mean, this game has a real...
Freeing the worms in the Hunters. Crossover of the century.
Yes! Dude, Master Chief and the Arbiter, but as Sonic and Knuckles would be such a great image. I want to see it.
That should be the art for this episode. I know we already have art for this episode, but we should throw it out.
Yeah, this is one of the only episodes where the art has been done long before we recorded. But... yeah, another one being the brute shot, with the brutes being...
The brute shot, let's fucking go! Tell them about the brute shot,
Yeah! Connor. A ridiculous-looking weapon. But with the brutes being new enemies, they wanted to give them, like, a distinct identity weapon.
And yet the drones get nothing.
The drone's already annoying enough. You don't want to give them a unique drone weapon.
What if every drone was carrying a sniper rifle? And it was like 3 times the size of the drone.
Jackals are bad enough.
Yeah.
I think what the drone should have as a unique weapon is a sack of rocks that they're carrying. That means that as soon as they pull it out, they drop to the ground and you can punch them in the face.
I think they should be like bees where they sting you once and then die.
Like flood infection forms.
Yeah.
That's fine. I would be okay with that. But the brute shot is effectively like almost a grenade launcher.
I always thought it was more like a sawn-off shotgun.
You're thinking of the Mauler, I think it is, from Halo 3.
The Mauler. Oh no, the brute shot's the one that you hold with like your arm on top of it, isn't it?
Yeah. It shoots these big grenades that can kind of go bouncing around, and it is quite a powerful gun.
Yeah.
Although I find the hit registry on it is weird. Like,
it is confusing, yeah.
I'll want to just point blank someone in the face, and it will just sometimes go through them, and it's really irritating. Although on Jackals, I'm just like, oh, you've got a big energy shield? That's a big target. Ooh. Oh, I can't shoot you? What if I just explode something in your face and you die?
What then?
The brute shot also has this gigantic curved blade on the bottom of it, which means that it actually does do more melee damage.
Really?
Yes.
Is it the same with the Spiker in Halo 3?
It is, yeah. This is the only real brute weapon that feels appropriate to their identity. Because the other unique brute weapon is the brute plasma rifle, which is...
the brute plasma rifle.
It's just a plasma rifle, but it's red and shoots faster.
Damn.
So, you know...
That's fucking crazy, dude.
like it overheats quicker, so that's like a... Yeah! It's like a more aggressive variation, but it's just a variant, right? It's like not that interesting. I guess it's mostly there if like you're dual wielding all the time and you want to like mix it up where it's like, I could have a plasma rifle and a brute plasma rifle. They fire completely disconcordantly from each other and it doesn't feel right.
That's how it feels when you're dual wielding the SMG and the pistol.
Yeah.
It breaks my brain. It's like trying to rub your stomach and pat your head at the same time.
Yeah. I think that is the reason why they gutted the assault rifle for the SMG, because the SMG also has 60 rounds in it, and it's kind of a spray and pray weapon, but the idea being like, what if you had 2 of them and you had double the fun?
Yeah. Although the recoil gets pretty crazy on that.
The recoil is insane, and I think there is something that happens to the damage values and accuracy that just makes them less effective when dual wielding, so it's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But in the right circumstances, it's very powerful.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. But I think with most of the weapons I want to talk about covered, I don't think there's many others I really want to say much on.
You want to talk about grenades?
Well, yeah, you've got the plasma grenade and the frag grenade.
Yeah.
Those are staples to Halo 1 as well, but they're kind of fun. The frag grenade feels significantly less effective than Halo 1's. Like, Halo 1's, it's got like a massive blast radius.
Yeah.
But the plasma grenade, what's fun about that is that it sticks to people. So if you successfully...
Just like spaghetti.
Just like spaghetti. Deadly blue spaghetti.
Which is basically the entire meta of multiplayer, is just running around trying to throw plasma grenades at people.
Yeah, we were doing a few matches of Slayer earlier.
I won every match.
Ash did not win every match.
That's true.
But, like, if one of us had the energy sword, the hard counter we'd try to do is just see if we could get plasma grenades and stick them before they killed us. So, like...
It was a lot of fun.
The idea being that hopefully they don't get back to the energy sword before...
Although I think I once stuck you with a plasma grenade and you just ran at me and blew me up. And it was like, for God's sake.
That's the trade-off. It's awful with brutes.
Yeah.
Because you'll just be like, I'm dealing with a group of brutes, I'm just going to lob a bunch of plasma grenades. One of them dies, the other one goes into rage mode and isn't dead yet, and you're like, fuck.
He's coming for me. He's coming for me.
I've just made a zombie on fire. It's more deadly. Then there is also the vehicles. We've chucked around words like Warthog and Ghost, and it's like, really?
I actually don't think we've talked about the Warthog yet.
We mentioned it by name, but we haven't really talked about what it is. So right now, the viewers...
It's a truck.
It's a car! It's a sick truck car!
But it's cool, because you can have 3 people in it at once, and they all have different roles.
Yeah, there's a machine gun on the back of it, and there's like a passenger seat and a driver's seat.
Every single time you get into it, you are forced by convention to go do-do-do-do.
Yeah, you've got to.
Yeah.
Halo 1 ends with a Warthog run, with do-do-do-do. Yeah. So you gotta have it.
Also proud to announce that was my only joke during the entire playthrough of Halo 2. Free reach and ODST. Was just going do-do-do-do.
Every time you got into a fucking Warthog.
And with Sam, we're still friends.
But yeah, it's really helpful for games like Capture the Flag and multiplayer, where it's like you can have someone get into that passenger seat with the flag while someone ferries you away.
This is one of those elements that really thickens the broth that is Halo.
Yeah.
Like, it adds so much dynamicism to it. Like, the vehicles kind of change up the entire game, and they're so intrinsically designed with the levels, so they feel always useful.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, they don't just feel like thrown in just for fun. They feel like the levels really accommodate them in a way that's really cool.
Yeah.
And also, like, you have options to combat them when you are being attacked by a vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially with the hijacking mechanic, just, honestly, just trying to get your heaviest weapon on it. But
yeah, or just, like, shooting at the person driving and trying to kill them independent of as possible.
People who like realism are not going to enjoy this game and how everyone is like hanging on to the edges of things. But in a multiplayer video game environment, it's like a really
featuring the big giant green guy fighting space bugs, you know?
Yeah. It's a very helpful element of the game that kind of lets you even the score.
Yeah.
And it can make for these sort of fun sort of games of chicken a bit, where like you're trying to see if you can like kill them from their driver's seat before they can shoot or run you over or whatever.
Yeah.
The Warthog is a staple vehicle in Halo. It's one of the most iconic. I love the way that it looks. And a few other ones return as well, like the Ghost, which is almost like a Covenant motorcycle, is the way I want to describe it.
It glides along the ground, making this kind of like really ethereal engine noise. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and it has little pew-pew guns, but like it's honestly more effective to just
try and ram people with it. And how many times in my life have I tried to ram someone in Halo multiplayer with a Ghost and completely whiffed and just flipped over like, shit. It's always like, that's it, this person's going, oh no, never mind.
Yeah, there's also the Scorpion tank.
Yeah, this is always really fun.
Your mainline battle tank, which is...
Do they have the Wraith in this?
They do have the Wraith in this. The Wraith is an enemy vehicle in Halo 1, but you can't pilot it in the multiplayer or in the campaign.
Yeah.
But they make it pilotable in this, and it's like the mortar on it, it's like a plasma mortar tank.
Yeah.
So while the Scorpion has got like a regular, like straightforward shoot cannon, the Wraith the Wraith you kind of have to arc your shots.
Yeah.
And
which honestly makes me enjoy the Wraith a lot more. It feels more earned when you hit someone with it.
Yeah, I think that in a lot of Halo 3 multiplayer maps, where you would expect to see a Scorpion, you usually get a Wraith because it's a little bit more skill based.
Yeah.
And in Halo 2, it fires really fast. Like
the Wraith?
Yeah, the Wraith. The mortar cannon is just like... and it's like, holy shit. But the Scorpion, by comparison, Halo 1 Scorpion was all bark and no bite, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Its cannon's very good. It makes a really big explosion, but it takes ages for the shot to reload, and its spread is insane.
Yeah.
Like, you have a giant reticle in the middle of the screen, and that shot could go anywhere, and it kind of doesn't feel that great outside of tight quarters.
Yeah.
Which you don't really want to have, like, an exploding weapon in. So it's a lot more finer tuned, and it makes for those levels where you are given a Scorpion a lot more fun.
Yeah.
And then there's the good old Banshee, the big flying purple aircraft that the Covenant have, where you can do 6...
Which, once again, does have pew-pew guns, but also it's more fun to try and just ram people with
It is.
With the added bonus that when you miss ramming people with the Banshee, you just crash into the floor and explode.
Yeah. Well, like, it's like in the campaign, it has a Banshee bomb, but they remove that in multiplayer, which like the
It's in Halo 3 the bomb in multiplayer, isn't it?
Yeah, only Halo 2 removes the Banshee bomb for multiplayer, but the ramming, like, every Covenant vehicle has a ram, including the Wraith, and it's just a lot of fun to just be like, I'm gonna splatter you.
I also feel like it's the universal Banshee experience to try and do the flips with the Banshee, but then forget what the button is and press the button to get out.
Yeah.
So you're like, check this out, I'm gonna do a flip, and then Master Chief just goes, whoop, and
like,
falls to his death.
Oh, shit.
Wow, I pressed the wrong button, guys.
Well, dang it. There's also some new vehicles, though. Beyond just, like, the Wraith being pilotable now.
Let me try and guess. The Hornet?
No.
Ooh. I'm out of ideas.
That's fine, because a lot of them are either so basic you kind of be like, oh yeah, of course.
Is the Mongoose?
The Mongoose was prototyped for this.
Oh, okay.
But it never came out for Halo 2. They had to wait for Halo 3.
Yeah.
The Gorsehog makes a
Oh yeah, the Gorsehog. Everyone's favourite, the Gorsehog.
The Gorsehog's really good.
Oh, you would say that.
Like,
is that the Brute motorbike?
No, it's the Warthog, but it has like almost like a...
Oh, right, yeah, I didn't think of that.
Instead of having a chain gun on the back.
Yeah, it's got like a railgun.
Yeah, and in this game, like the Wraith, it shoots really fast. It's like maybe a little too overtuned.
Yeah.
And then there's the Covenant's version of the Warthog called the Spectre.
Oh yes, the Spectre, everyone's favourite vehicle. Everyone post your Spectre memories in the chat.
Which is just like, what if you had a Warthog, but instead of a machine gun, it had a laser gun?
Oh!
And you could
like the Gorsehog?
No, more like... sorry, laser's the wrong word. More like the regular Warthog.
Oh, okay.
Where it's just like a piddly little...
Oh, like...
like a... It also has 2 passenger seats. So, how do you like them apples?
I don't, I fear them.
It looks silly, and it has never returned in a Halo game.
Damn.
Like Halo 3...
Maybe in Halo 7.
Now that we have talked about the bread and butter, the sandbox, what your kind of options are...
No, sandbox is Halo 3.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry. Now that we've talked about the burial mound, what's the...
the foundation.
Ah! That is a map in this, isn't it?
Yeah, you told me it was the worst one.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that later, but first, let's talk about the campaign, shall we?
Let's do it. Mission 1. It's a cutscene.
Yeah. But for some reason, the Halo games after Halo 1 do this annoying thing where they count the opening cutscene as a level.
Yeah.
Which it does mean that you can be like, oh, dude, I'm going to get that achievement for beating a level on Legendary. And you just
watching Heretic, yeah. So does that mean there are only actually 14 missions in this game?
There are.
Yeah.
And given that most of them feel like a larger level that's been cut in half, it means realistically you have maybe 7 or 8.
Okay.
7 or 8 very long levels.
I mean, Halo 3 only has 10, right? So
it does,
I guess that's in line.
But one of them's a cutscene.
Is it the first one?
Yeah.
When you fall out of space? And Cortan is like, he's a lucky guy, that Master Chief. Anyway, tell me about Halo 2.
Halo 2.
We already talked about what happens in the Heretic, right? Obviously, we see the Arbiter being punished for his transgressions against the Halo Ring. We see the Master Chief being awarded for his courage and bravery.
Yeah.
It's all great stuff for everyone involved.
Yeah. And then, of course, you start off the game from Master Chief's perspective.
On the Cairo Defense Installation thing.
That's the one!
Yeah.
It has a big gun on it, and it kind of makes up this big defense network of the Earth, so the Covenant attacking it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and a lot of the characters are like, they'll never get past that thing, it's too cool.
Yeah. Famous last words.
Yeah. I think Sergeant Johnson is also like, when I shipped out for the first time, this just existed for politics.
Yeah.
And now there's like 400 of them.
Yeah, and they're like, oh god.
Yeah. Now we really need this shit.
It's a pretty good sort of like opening scene to kind of set up how like this is the heart of the human...
Or maybe you clear up some confusion for me, because I was under the impression that the Covenant didn't know where Earth was.
No, they didn't.
So when they arrive in this mission, is that the first time they've ever been there?
They say in that opening cutscene, like, Lord Hood, who's like the commanding
who gives you a
admiral,
medal, yeah.
He does look up it and say, like, the fleet that attacked Reach was 15 times the size of this.
Yeah.
Why is there such a small Covenant fleet? And it's because the Prophet of Regret is in that fleet. It's his personal fleet. And he didn't know that was the homeworld. He went there being like, we think there's Forerunner things over there. We want that for the Great Journey. And he got there and was like, ah!
Although it is a little, I don't know, like, to me, bad storytelling that in both the first Halo games, like, you find the Halo ring by accident, he finds Earth by accident.
Yeah.
Like, I was under the impression that space was pretty big, so...
Yeah, no. A lot of the plot holes in Halo get patched over by, like, novellas, really. And in the fuller picture, it's kind of neat, but in these individual moments, it's like, this just exists to have cool locations, doesn't it? And I don't mind that for the most part, but...
This mission also sets up my favourite character, which is the Quartermaster.
The guy in the armory.
Yeah, which continues the proud tradition of the Halo guy who tells you to look up and down dying in the first mission.
Yeah. I think the only exception to that is potentially Halo 3.
Yeah, the soldiers in the forest.
Yeah, because they can survive.
Although Sergeant Johnson was a part of that, so...
Oh, yeah, sorry guys. Spoilers for Halo 3.
You had your time.
Yeah. Well, Sergeant Johnson being alive at all is like, also not explained. Because again, Master...
The first thing someone says to Sergeant Johnson in this game is, are you going to explain how you're alive? And he goes, nah, that's classified.
Yeah. You have to read Halo First Strike to find out that there was a little pelican that flew out.
Let me ring the alert. Connor's going to talk about a Halo book for 20 minutes.
Alright, guys. So Halo First Strike. I'm not going to do it. We'll be here forever.
Anyway, Mission 1.
Mission 1 Cairo Station is kind of a setup to kind of get you familiarized with the combat of the game, but it's not like a tutorial of like, press X to shoot the guy in front of you, this individual man. It's just more like gives you some very basic combat encounters with just grunts and elites to really give you an idea of what this game's sort of gonna be like.
Yeah, although there are some fun little twists on it, because this is where you fight the jetpack elites for the first time, as you're going through zero gravity on the edge of the ship.
Yeah, it's a really cool mix-up, and I really like that sort of, that area, because, like, the environment also moves, because the big gun is firing while you are jumping around on it, so, like, all the individual platforms are going up and down. It's also just funny to see the Marines, like, in their little dress uniforms, because they've not gotten ready yet.
There's a bit when you're riding an elevator with Sergeant Johnson, where you arrive and there's Marines going, yeah, Master Chief!
I need to talk about this. I put this on the notes, but it's not on the itinerary. I love the Marines. They are the best fucking goobers. They are so good. They will follow you around on missions. They have an improvement from Halo 1, which is that you can actually take their weapons and swap them with ones you're carrying.
I have a really fond memory of a Marine in Halo 1 who just yells, 1 down, 1 million to go!
Yeah, I love that fucking guy.
Yeah.
I have a couple of quotes I really enjoy.
Alright, lay it on me. Give me the nom de gueuse.
Which is, one of them going in the exact Candace as Drowning Pool's bodies. Here we go now! I love that guy.
Well, I look forward to your body's Halo AMV.
There were plenty of those. I don't need to make one. There's also...
You should make one of you only me in multiplayer. And every let the body to the floor is me dying.
And there's two instances this happened just organically through gameplay I really like. One is a Marine with a sniper rifle going, I'm gonna die out here! I just know I'm gonna die! Before flawlessly headshotting 3 elites in a row. And another one where it's a Marine with a rocket launcher going, chew on this, you son of a bitch, before immediately blowing up the guy in front of him and himself.
Because I feel like we need to make it clear that Connor loves goobs. He loves little dudes.
I love little goobers that follow you around.
The Halo little dudes are some of the best dudes of all time.
They are,
because they're so ready to fucking go.
Because it even translates to the grunts. Like when you're playing as the Arbiter, the grunts kind of fill that role for you, and they're even more like goofy. Like I think I gave one of them a plasma gun, and he just went, "I will hug you and pet you and call you George."
What? George?
Yeah,
a traditional grunt name. Of course.
Yeah, there's a real rich history with the grunts. They breathe methane.
That's true.
So you don't want to visit their planet. It smells like fart gas.
Alright, you got anything else to say about Mission 1?
Not particularly, other than that this is the first instance of you riding an elevator where nothing happens for a while. Which might sound like it's not noteworthy, but trust me...
We'll swing back around on that one.
We will. I just think it's a good opening level. I think it's better than Halo 1's and Halo 3's.
Okay, because I like the Pillar of Autumn.
The Pillar of Autumn is a really good setup, but I think it's very basic compared to Cairo Station.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as well. It's just grunts and elites, but I think it's more visually interesting.
But yeah, there is lots of moments in this level where you look out the windows of your space station to see the Covenant blowing up all the other space stations and being like, "Oh, that's not good." Yeah,
so when you find out the Covenant are bringing a bomb into the space stations to blow them up from the inside, so it becomes like, "Oh god, find the bomb!" Which leads to the ending cutscene where Master Chief gives the Covenant back their bomb.
Yeah. Which for some reason, I just presumed that scene of him dropping the bomb was from the end of the game.
No.
I thought that was the cliffhanger.
In midst of chaos, despite all their best efforts, the Covenant do make it onto Earth, landing in Africa. But then you drop into a set of 2 levels called Outskirts and the other one.
Dude, the other one is such a good level, honestly, it's crazy.
Outskirts and Metropolis, I'm sorry. These are the levels that are like set...
These are the Earth Defense levels.
Yeah.
This is when you join the Earth Defense Force.
You do, the EDF, but you don't shoot giant ants, unfortunately, although there is another bug, a scarab. But this mission primarily revolves around the fact that the Covenant have this gigantic fucking thing.
Yeah.
But this set of missions is primarily about, like, basically trying to repel the Covenant while trying to circumvent around the fact that the Scarab is basically impossible until you just get to a point...
Dude, the Scarab in this game in comparison to the later Halo games is so much cooler, because it does feel like this massive threat. Like, it's like, you can't do anything about it, and it's chasing you down.
Yeah. Although I think I prefer the way that you deal with the Scarab in Halo 3.
Well, when you drive into the back of it.
Well, it's more that there is an actual mechanic to destroying it. Because the end of these missions has you blowing up the Scarab, but it's more that you jump on it, you kill like 12 elites, and the mission's over.
Okay. And the Scarab is defeated.
Yeah. The beginning of these missions kind of starts you in this, like, holdout, where, like, you're fighting wave after wave of men for a bit, and it's not super exciting, but by the point you go, okay, when are we going to stop doing this?
Yeah.
Then suddenly, like, hunters blow open a pair of doors, and then the rest of the mission gets to go on. You're like, okay,
all right.
now
Let's
there's progress.
Go. Let's do it.
This is also the first instance of you going into an alley and there being a million jackals that are all blowing your head off. And
I mean, it would be in Africa, right?
What, would jackals would be there?
Yeah, there's jackals in Africa.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. They don't have sniper rifles,
They
though.
do not, which is how we managed to survive this long.
Yeah. Imagine giving beam rifles to those things. Nightmarish.
Fucked up.
But generally speaking, while I have heard some people say that they find, like, Outskirts to be one of the worst levels in the game, I really don't mind it.
Okay.
I think it's more when you're playing on Legendary, it's a pain in the ass.
I like the levels on Earth because they feel really different from what came in Halo 1, you know?
Yeah,
and it feels more, like, impactful because you know it's your home turf.
Yeah. I like the bit nearer to the end where you get into a warthog and you're driving around on the beach for a bit, having these little skirmishes with, like, Covenant transports that are carrying troops and vehicles and things like that around in there. Like, it's a really cool bit. But then we get to that, like, cutoff where it goes, oh fuck, the Xbox can't render any more level, we have to make this a separate thing.
Yeah.
Which is where you then look upon the Scarab and you go like, well, we have to get rid of that, that's a real problem. And Sergeant Johnson drops a tank down for you, gives you a cool speech depending on your difficulty, and you roll over this bridge.
Really?
Yeah, it's a thing in Halo 1 as well. Sergeant Johnson will give you a speech in the opening cutscene of Halo 1.
Yeah.
And depending on how hard of a difficulty it is, the longer of a speech and, like, the funnier it is. In Halo 2, he'll just say, like, the Chief's gonna get into this tank and blow up any inhuman son of a bitch dumb enough to get between him and the Prophet of Regret. It's just what he says in normal.
Yeah.
But in fucking heroic difficulty, he goes, back in my day, we didn't have fancy smancy tanks. We had sticks. 2 sticks in a rock for the whole platoon, and we had to share the rock.
That sounds like a fucking Meet the Soldier speech.
Yeah.
And he know a little bit about war because he invented it.
Yeah. And from that day forward, anytime a bunch of animals are together in one place, it's called a zoo. Unless it's a farm. Another bit I want to briefly mention about, like, Metropolis before we move on to the next level.
Yeah.
Which is that after that tank roll, Halo does unfortunately do that thing where it gives you a really fun vehicle to drive, and then it just puts a bunch of bollards in front of you and says,
I hate that,
can't do it anymore.
No more fun.
Get out.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you find a Marine with a shotgun who says, hey, it's close quarters from now on, you should have this. And then the bit you go into immediately is a wide open tunnel with 2 jackal snipers. So it's like, your intel's a bit fucked,
thanks,
Marine.
bro. Well, they're trying their best. You know?
They are. After you blow up the Scarab, the Prophet of Regret inside of his like carrier is now trying to get out of Earth. He's clearly lost the fight, and he's trying to flee. And he opens up this giant slip space rupture.
You do repel the Prophet of Regret.
You do.
Yeah.
He's like shit, and he starts running the fuck away.
Yeah.
And when you do that, it creates this giant slip space rupture that is implied to blow up the entirety of New Mombasa.
Damn.
Until you play Halo 3 ODST, and it hasn't.
Nice. They tanked it.
After you have this really great ending to Act 1 that has this great sweeping music and this really cool cutscene, we then cut back to the Arbiter, where he is being put on his official first mission, which is to go and deal with a bunch of like these heretics that are...
Which I've been consulting the box and the manual while you've been talking about the campaign. Nowhere does it say on this that you play as a different character.
Really? Not even in the instruction manual?
I don't think so, no. Maybe I'll check again.
Because the Arbiter has like unique mechanics as well. It's not like a particularly huge one, but the Arbiter, being an elite and being like a super special elite, has this invisibility he can toggle on and off at any given time.
Yeah.
Which means that the encounters with him are built a little bit differently so that you can slip away with your active camo and try to get the drop on them repeatedly. And it is quite cool. But the Master Chief's equivalent with that same button is that he gets to turn on a flashlight.
Yo! Well, that's like a holdover from Halo 1, right?
Yes, it is a holdover from Halo 1. Press the white button to turn on the white light.
As far as I can tell, this manual does not say you ever play as the Arbiter.
That's fucked up. Oh my god, that's really fucking funny.
I've been trying to keep it a secret, right?
Yeah. But this opening mission with the Arbiter is... It's fine. Yeah, it's not as exciting as the levels of Master Chief, and I think that's kind of a consistent through line with a lot of this game.
Well, you were saying that his levels are built more around kind of like a stealth quotation mark kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah, to the degree that a Halo lets you do stealth, which it does do in like Halo 1, like you'll see sleeping grunts that you can whack and kill them without alerting anyone else, and that carries over into every other Halo game. But this game does allow it so that once you do kind of start combat, the Arbiter can just slip away, and you can try to do that again and again. And it is a neat little level. I don't have a huge amount to say about it, other than that it ends on this Banshee section where a Phantom with your allies in it, a Phantom being like this Covenant dropship. All the Covenant vehicles are named after ghosts, and all of the human vehicles are named after animals. This Phantom goes like, we have a bunch of emplacements to go and blow up. You have to follow me. But if you know exactly where the heretic guy is, where he's run off to, you can just go over there and end the mission.
I do like how these missions have like a different feel than the Master Chief one. Not just because of the stealth elements, but because they feel like you're like a strike team going out and doing missions rather than just shit, fuck, defend Earth.
Yeah. Like, the Arbiter might be a super cool guy to the Covenant, but the Master Chief is like, it feels like you're a lone action hero.
Yeah.
And the Arbiter, is part of this like little team, even when he does go off in his little solo missions as well.
Yeah.
But the second...
But I guess they feel more like missions in the universe rather than just, fuck!
Yeah.
Big ship over there.
Ooh. But the second half of this mission is called The Oracle, where your strike team goes into this little room, and one of the elites goes, I've smelt this stench before. And you, like, look into this glass, and it seems like the heretics are fighting against this other unknown enemy, and then they immediately go, oh my god, it's the parasite from Halo 1! It's the Flood! And it's like, oh, okay. Didn't we blow them up?
Nah, not good enough.
Nah. Like, because apparently the Forerunners were fucking terrible at, like, defeating the Flood.
Yeah, all they wanted to do was defeat the Flood, and they dropped the ball.
Yeah, they really did. So they seem to just crop up fucking everywhere. And you...
Well, I guess they didn't blow up the Gravemind, so...
That's true.
He's still just out there doing his floody things.
Yeah. The thing is, I take umbrage with that line, because I feel like that should have been the Arbiter's line. Okay. I think the Arbiter should have been the one to go, like, I've smelt this before, because he was on Halo, whereas these other guys weren't. So it's like, okay, that kind of ruins the mystique a little bit that the Flood were, like, a limited thing that only recently got discovered.
Yeah.
But it then leads you to Elevator number 2, which... Elevator number 1 in Cairo Station was basically just to go, look, it's the orbital defense gun. We're going to be jumping around on that later. Elevator number 2, you're in just a big grey shaft that goes down, and Flood come up, and Sentinels come up, and you just stand there fighting them and then waiting for them to respawn, and you slowly go down, and it's not fun.
Look forward to the end of the show when we add a new ranking to our list, which is Best Elevators.
Best Elevators! Yeah. This game is not winning Best Elevators.
Huge category for Best Elevators.
Winning Worst Elevators. Ultimately, the mission ends with, like, the heretic locking himself inside of this room, being like, try to get me now, fuckers.
And then you do.
And then, yeah, the Arbiter is just like, well, we're, like, on a big platform that's, like, attached to a giant rope, so I'm just gonna cut the rope. And we're gonna start descending into freefall, so he's gonna have to open that door to try and escape, and then I'm gonna come in and beat his ass.
Yeah.
And that takes you to that boss fight where you fight him. But before that happens, you meet 343 Guilty Spark, this, like, flying light bulb robot from Halo 1, who is like, I am the monitor of Installation 04, who is he was, like, looking after the Halo ring before it blew up, and he knows what the Halo rings do, and thus explains to the Heretic Elite, I don't know why you guys keep talking about this great journey thing, this isn't what the Halo rings are. You're not going to ascend to godhood if you fire them.
Yeah.
And that's why the Heretic's changed. And the Heretic goes, why don't you ask this guy about the truth? Guilty Spark goes to explain it, and then the Heretic guy just starts shooting the Arbiter. And it's like, what are you doing? You fucking... And it was just like, well, I guess we need to have a boss fight. I don't know. Yeah. We can't give the Arbiter this, like, change of heart yet. So
it's going to be an arc.
So you end up beating up the Heretic leader. This brute guy called Tartarus, which is, like, the right-hand man to the Prophets, is, like, takes Guilty Spark and just goes, our job's done, we're going back to the Prophets.
See you later.
And that is when you cut back against the Master Chief and your little pursuit of the Prophet of Regrets. I failed to introduce a new character to this story.
Miranda Keyes?
Miranda Keyes, the daughter of Captain Keyes from the first game, who's got this ship, she's got her own crew and everything like that. As you're going after the Prophet of Regret, she looks at something and goes, Cortana, what am I looking at? And Cortana goes, that is another Halo.
and Halo 2.
Yeah! Halo 2, baby! Which, you're right.
Alright.
The Halos are magical, right? They're like a beautiful, unique part of the sci-fi world. They're really distinct and iconic. I can't help but feel like this story got a little bit cheapened by the fact that it revolves around going to another Halo ring.
Yeah.
Like, at least Halo 3 is about going to the Ark. Like, that's a different thing.
Yeah. But it's like the mother of Halo rings.
Yeah. Whereas this kind of feels a bit like, I don't know. It's like that Star Wars thing of, like, does every Star Wars plot have to be about rebels and Empire?
Or like Jurassic Park, whenever they go back to the original island.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we're going to the part where the fucked up dinosaurs were, so it's crazy this time.
But then they just go like, okay, well, the Prophet's going to this fucking Halo. We need to make sure he doesn't fire this goddamn thing. So you immediately get into these little drop pods and you drop down and the action just starts, right?
He wouldn't be able to fire it, would he?
No. Basically, in order to fire the rings, you need to find an activation index inside of a place called the library.
Yeah.
Take it to the control room, and then it requires a human's touch in order for it to go.
Because did you know that the reason why they're called the Forerunners is because they're the forerunners of humans?
What?
They came before humanity.
And we don't properly learn this until Halo 3. Like, it's implied in Halo 1 and 2. Like, Guilty Spark kind of alludes to it.
Yeah.
But then they just outright say in Halo 3, you are Forerunner. And then Halo 4 retcons it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. But then you're going down there to just kick some ass, take some names, and you play through probably 2 of the best levels in the game.
Get yo, some nom de guerres.
Some nom de guerres?
Yeah, you gotta take some names.
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
But this one is a real smorgasbord.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's called Delta Halo.
Yo, Delta Halo tomorrow!
Yeah. Yo, Toby Fox releasing Delta Halo in a fortnight. It's got your little, like, hot drop in where you fight a few Covenant for a bit, including a section where you can hold out for a bit or you can just walk right past it if you don't give a fuck. Like, I'm surprised this game didn't win you over more, because it has a lot of good opportunities for you to walk past the action and just finish the game quickly.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that that's how you play Resident Evil.
No, I kill every enemy and I learn all their names.
Could you imagine if every zombie in Resident Evil had its own name?
Yeah, this one's Steven.
Ooh.
This one's Fernando.
But there's like a tank section that you can like get into for it.
And we're on the Halo ring at this point.
Yeah, you're on the Halo ring. You've got the ancient Forerunner ruins and this like
classic ancient
these
Forerunner
luscious
ruins,
jungles. You have like a sniper alley and
A sniper alley?
yeah,
Always exciting.
With more jackal snipers, and it plays this really calm, cool, groovy music
Oh,
over it.
Yeah.
Which is fucking awesome.
The good chill Halo music is some of the best stuff in that series.
Yeah. And it also has, I think this level ends with a larger structure where you've got enough space that you can just start sniping the larger targets, like from a distance before you go to it.
Yeah.
And it gives you a little bit more openness on how to approach your way to get into it.
Yeah. Because it does feel like the earlier Master Chief levels are a bit railroady, where it's like you're just going down and down and down. So it's cool that they start to open up a little bit more.
Yeah. This then takes you into the part 2, the level that is just called Regret, where you figure out what the Prophet of Regret is doing. And you were talking about the Covenant having their own language.
Yeah.
Well, it has this bit where the Prophet of Regret is basically singing the Halo chant.
Oh, what he's going,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, like in his own language in this little hologram.
Yeah.
And then Cortana translates it, and it translates to him going like, I'll ignite this holy ring and bring about the great journey. And then that's when you go like, okay, we know where he is, we got to beat him up.
I was hoping it would translate to, I'm just a small town girl.
Living in a lonely world. I'll give it to you like this, right?
Give it to me.
It does have 2 bits that are effectively elevators. It has these like...
Let's fucking go, I'm so back in.
It has these like gondola rides as you go
Yeah.
over this lake, and you'll get like harassed by drones or banshees or that kind of thing. But it also takes you into these areas that are set underwater.
Ooh.
And there's a really nice bit, I really love the way this looks, where you plunge down into the water and it starts playing this beautiful choir music as you can look around at this like foggy water with these like faint ruins in the distance here and there.
Yeah.
And I remember that honestly, when I was replaying it in like 2020, I did kind of go like, oh, this is cool. I didn't think there was a bit in a Halo game where you go in the water. This is kind of sick.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunately, it does take you to some relatively boring encounters, which is just down these long corridors. But Halo's enemy variety means that those corridors at least feel fundamentally
Yeah, the
different.
moment gameplay is always fun, you know.
Yeah. This is also a mission where I had like 2 little marine companions following me, and they survived the whole time, and I was so proud of them. I named one of them Samson, and the other one Susan.
Yo, Susan!
And they were my sniper friends. And if I was down to 1 round in a sniper rifle, she'd be like, Susan, take this.
And they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates. They sadly do not make it off the ring, unfortunately.
Damn.
Because once you
War as hell.
Because once you do that boss fight with the Prophet of Regret and you punch him in his fucking face, the High Charity and the rest of the Covenant fleet show up in the sky, and they start glassing that area of the ring to try and kill the Master Chief. Because the Master Chief is notorious among the Covenant.
Yeah, they call him the Demon.
Yeah, they do. So it's like, oh, he's in there and he's killing the Prophet of Regret? Fucking blow him up. Kill him at any cost.
Well, I guess they've also determined at this point that there are more than 1 Halo ring, so it's like, well, we can blow a few of them up.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's like a big, no, tangent. Connor, stay focused. Don't talk about the Halo novels.
Let me ask you a question, Connor.
Yeah?
How come, even though they blow up one of the Halo rings in Halo 1, the Halo system still works?
Because there are multiple Halo rings that can all fire. The thing is, if a Halo ring was destroyed, it wouldn't be very effective at stopping the flood full stop if they were all across the galaxy, like in Forerunner times. But at this point in time, as far as we're aware, the only place that the flood is right now is Delta Halo. Because the Covenant...
Phoenix, Arizona.
They're in Phoenix, Arizona. Listen, Phoenix, Arizona appears in Halo 4.
Let's go! Halo 4!
So get
now.
excited for Halo 4. After the Master Chief tries to get away from the blast, he jumps into some water and gets taken away by some mysterious tentacles that proclaim that this is not his grave.
Mine.
They don't know that yet! It's clever foreshadowing, Ash!
I'm the Master Chief of Loneliness, I know.
We then go back to the Arbiter.
We go back.
For what is generally considered the worst 2 levels in the game.
Oh, man. I was hoping they'd be like the 5th and 6th best levels in the game.
Unfortunately not.
Drats.
Thing is, I am going to come to bat for at least the first half of this set of levels, but maybe not so much the second half. But the framing device here is that because one of the High Council prophets is dead, the High Council rules that the elites are just not capable of protecting the prophets anymore.
They have been blowing it.
Yeah.
Like a Halo ring got blown up. one of their leaders got punched to death by a green boy.
Yeah.
It's not going well.
So there's this changing of the guards where the brutes are just now becoming the honor guard for the prophets and are becoming the second in command to the prophets fully and entirely. And while this is happening, the prophets just go like, isn't that fucked up that your people are going to resign because of what happened, because of the changing of the guard? Anyway, I need you to go get the activation index before the humans do, because they're onto us. They seem to know how this works. And so the Arbiter gets dropped in by himself to go and retrieve what the Covenant call the Sacred Icon, but it's the activation index. Yeah. And this mission is very quiet.
Yeah, and then you get a codec call from the Prophet where it's like, Arbiter, you need to retrieve the activation index from the base.
I would have loved that.
Yeah,
that would have been great. But for the most part, this mission just has a lot of these like quiet shots where you're just kind of by yourself and you're watching a lot of little like Forerunner things like moving around and trying to like do little tasks, as well as lone grunts that are like hiding, being like, oh, there's scary things here. And it's because there are Flood here, and this is very much a Flood and Forerunner mission where you just kind of fight those for a while. You also go down some really big slides. There's a lot of like lift up a pillar, there's a giant slide, and you just go sliding down it. And whenever you do, it plays a sound effect in the soundtrack where it's just a choir going, like it's a descent into hell.
Someone was getting artsy on the development team.
I'm gonna tell you what, actually.
Tell me what.
I'm just gonna read you my notes.
Okay.
Shows boss at beginning to foreshadow fight with it ahead.
Yeah.
Tiny baby sentinels floating around. Then down the slides. Rather ominous with the discordant choirs.
Ooh.
Elevator number 5. Fight the golden boys. The good news is it's not a very long one. There's like golden sentinels that have like a slightly unique sentinel beam, but that's really like not much to...
Well, tell me more.
Suddenly, 100,000 marine infected. Active camo comes in handy. Because in this segment, that's when, like, you first see that there are Marines in the world, and then the game goes, oh, you've been fighting too many, like, enemies with Covenant weapons. Here is 1 million Marines with SMGs and Magnums and shit.
Yeah.
And there's honestly too many of them. They will swarm you and fucking blow you the fuck up.
Yeah.
A couple of corridors that you go down are, like, completely dark and have this, like, thick fog from, like, the flood infection, and it is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But, like, it works quite well for that. And then... my final note is, oh cool, a holdout with turrets that do nothing. They took my rocket launcher in the cutscene.
Oh no!
Because then they transition you into the second half of the level, and regardless of what weapons you have, like, if you've got a sick energy sword or a rocket launcher, they'll just go, nah, you're starting with the Covenant Carbine and the plasma gun.
Yeah!
This second level, Quarantine Zone, is my least favourite in the game.
Okay.
And it shouldn't be, in theory. Because this is, like, largely a vehicle level where you get scorpions and wraiths and that kind of thing. You fight a mixture of Forerunners as well as Flood that only in this game can pilot vehicles.
Okay.
And it should be kind of cool as, like, a tank level, but it just goes on forever. Like, if they break it up with the geometry from one of the levels they had to cut, where it's just a giant grey blob. And it really feels like a piece of cut content that they've just stapled into the middle of the level.
Well, didn't you say that they, the Halo Flood library is back in this one?
It is! Yeah. It is! Although, in a way, I think it's kind of cute.
Okay.
Like, I'll give it that. But it is funny that the library, the worst level in Halo 1, exists in the worst level in Halo 2.
The legacy lives on.
Because they realise that the humans are going to get the index from the library, and they're like, oh fuck, we got to get there first.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like Flood that are carrying rocket launchers, and those just aren't fun to fight because you'll just instantly die.
Yeah. And if you're playing the campaign in single player, that's it for you, right?
Yeah, you won't respawn. Well, I think in Halo 2, that actually, if either of you die, you go back to a checkpoint.
Really?
At least in Legendary. But then the second half of Quarantine Zone, after you do the tank combat, is Elevator number 6.
Yo!
And you have a few elites to accompany you, but... It's
Hey,
maybe I'm getting dramatic. For those of you who played Halo 2,
yeah.
I don't like this part of the game. It's so slow, it's so long. Ashes punch me in the nose.
Yeah, I love this part of Halo 2.
The Flood will spawn from the exact same points in the level every damn time, and it's just like, ugh.
It's a real slog.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the adventures. I'm out of it.
I mean, I feel like the typical Halo thing to say is, I'm sick of the Flood.
Yeah. It's like, it's a long, because it's not just a long level with boring set pieces, it's a long level with boring set pieces and Flood.
Yeah, which makes anything worse.
Yeah. And so once you actually get off of that elevator and they go like, quick, the humans are about to get the index, you then go through exact geometry from the library level in Halo 1.
Yeah.
But all the enemies are dead.
Oh.
Because it's implied the
That
Marine...
must be an improvement.
Yeah, well, honestly, yeah. Because it's implied that the humans, Miranda Keyes and Johnson, have already gone to get the index while Master Chief was killing Regret. And, like, they've already killed all those guys. So you just go through, and it activates a cutscene where they get the index, but the Arbiter beats up Johnson and Miranda, and then Tartarus goes to, like, drag them away and take the index for himself. And Tartarus goes like, oh, when the Prophet's hear of this, I'll be considered a hero. And the Arbiter's like, but I did that. And then Tartarus goes like, well, guess what? You're getting double-crossed, idiot. I'm gonna kill you. And Arbiter goes, but when the Prophets hear of this... And Tartarus goes, when they learn, they ordered me to do it. And then he just pushes the Arbiter down a big hole.
Damn.
And it's like, oh my god, how could the Prophet of Truth lie to me?
And then the curse of All Saints Village is subdued for another generation.
Yeah. With the sacrifice of
the sacrifice of the Arbiter, yeah.
So then we go and find out what happened to the Master Chief. What were those tentacles? Where were they taking him? They were taking him to Audrey II from Little Shop of Horrors.
Wow.
There's a giant fucking gross thing that's living in the basement of Delta Halo, I guess. And it's called the Gravemind. It's like the largest living consciousness of Flood that controls all the rest of them.
Yeah.
And he's taken both the Master Chief and the Arbiter, because, you know, they both kind of fall into their near deaths, and was like, hey, listen, so we shouldn't get along, right?
We got off on the wrong foot.
But here's the thing, right? If the Prophet of Truth fires the Halo rings... Not only
all die.
Yeah, we're all gonna die. Oh my god, Ash has been fucking killed by the by the flood spores in her lungs.
I'm a bug now.
Oh. He goes, tell you what, right? Master Chief, I'm gonna teleport you into High Charity. You'll see if you can find the Prophet of Truth there. The Arbiter, I'm gonna teleport you to the control room just in case that they're not there. Just in case they're already there. Alright?
How does Gravemind speak?
Gravemind speaks very poetically, and he speaks in these kind of like vague, sort of like grandiose statements, where he says like, I have watched and listened for years through rock and metal and time.
And what kind of voice does he have?
That's it. I'm a monument to all your sins. It's very hard to do because it's a choir of people.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of voices, but it's very deep.
It's some kind of hive mind.
Yeah. And, like, at this point, the Arbiter is still like, no, we're gonna do the great journey, and then, then the Gravemind goes, oh yeah? Picks up the version of Free for Free Guilty Spark that's on this ring, like a different guy, and the Prophet of Regret, and goes like, hey, Prophet of Regret, what were you gonna do? The great journey! And, if he was gonna do that, what would happen, floating light bulb? Oh, it would destroy all life in the galaxy. So yeah, Arbiter, I'm sorry, you've been lied to. And the Arbiter's
but you're going to have to process that real quick, because we've got no time here.
Yeah. So Arbiter, that's why I'm not sending you to High Charity. That's why you're going to go to the brutes who've already betrayed you. And he goes like, oh, okay.
No, it works out, I guess.
So then you have 4 levels where you switch each individual level from Master Chief to Arbiter to Master Chief to Arbiter.
So now we've been assigned the mission by our greatest enemy, the Hive Mind.
The Gravemind, yeah.
The guy.
The guy.
Yeah. The guy comes up from Spy Kids 3.
He says cake, and
then he explodes, yeah. And that hit me. So that's one of the things I find interesting about this, like, the arc of Halo 2's campaign, is that by the end of it, the 3 factions who are diametrically opposed to each other are kind of working together in a weird way.
Yeah. It leads into one of the most interesting times in history for the Halo universe, which is the Covenant Schism.
Yeah.
And that is actually where our first level takes us, is slap bang in the middle of this civil war that is occurring inside of High Charity.
This, to me, feels like the point when the Covenant's war begins to just split apart.
Yeah.
Because up until this point, they've kind of just been, like, steamrolling humanity, basically.
Yeah.
But I feel like from this point onwards, it's like the beginning of the end for them.
Yeah. I think the general idea is that the Covenant were only really winning in momentum from the start.
Okay.
Like, the way they've won conflicts in the past was just overwhelming force for ages.
People, yeah.
But the thing is that the very discovery of humanity and the fact that they can actually use Forerunner things, if that truth got out, as it eventually does, then it means that, like, the very fabric of that the Covenant is built upon, this, like, religion that kind of combines them all together, it would completely collapse.
Because like that is one of the kind of interesting wrinkles that you come to learn over the course of the Halo games, is that the Covenant is not like a culturally monogamous, beautiful thing that is formed by all their belief in this religion. Like the Covenant is like a unwieldy, messy conglomeration of different peoples and cultures that kind of hate each other.
Yeah.
And they actually don't have much reason to be bound together other than their belief in the straight journey.
Yeah.
And when they lose that, it just completely falls apart, because of course it would.
Yeah, the fucking brutes and the elites having their rivalry, the jackals versus everyone else, because nobody likes the jackals. But yeah, this mission takes us right into the middle of the Civil War beginning, but as a third party, like...
Because we're the Master Chief.
Because we're the Master Chief, and they're both our enemy at this point in
So
time.
why is the Civil War starting at this point again, sorry?
Well...
Is it because the Covenant are trying to expel the elites?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the elites are just like, hell fucking no, we're not standing for this. Like, this is a massive mark of shame. And so, as a result of that, you do get these little groups that are, like, fighting against each other. And it's not purely elites versus everyone else. There are grunts and hunters that take the elite side.
Yeah, yeah. Which I think is one of those little details that makes Halo so much more than just a dumb first-person shooter. Like, they took all these things into account. Like, there's, like, a rich world that you're seeing played out through these mechanics that I just think is so cool, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It's something that I think separates this from, like, a lot of other, like...
Separates the elites from the grunts.
Ooh. Tell you what, I like that way of putting it better than what I was going to say, so I'm going to let that just be. But this is the first time you actually fight brutes. They haven't actually...
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't actually appear in any other level.
So this game was good for like 70% of it.
Before you have to fight the apes.
Fucking brutes, yeah, stupid apes.
That go fucking berserk. And they are a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie.
That's
it's like, when you're fighting them, are fucking legendary. Christ. God. But
Jesus!
It's funny you mentioned this thing about making the world a bit more lived in, because the actual locales of High Charity feels simultaneously like they've put the effort in to try and add these little details in the locale to make it feel not just like a big purple blob. Like, there's gardens and little streams and things like that you can see around the levels.
Yeah.
But it still looks very samey.
Okay.
Like, that's a big gripe I think exists in this latter part of the game, is that you do get environments that technically don't repeat but feel the same.
I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that this is supposed to be the middle of the game.
Yeah, they were going to do like a whole extra thing, and then they just had to cut so much of the fucking game. There is one bit in this level I do really like.
I don't know.
Like, it doesn't even matter how hard you try. There's one bit I really like where you see a bunch of grunts are running around, flailing around, and there are brutes that are in the rage mode that are just chasing after them and beating them up. So I like trying to play this little game of like, can I kill the brutes before they kill every grunt? Because the grunts won't take my side. But I just like doing that just to see what will happen.
In this fucking immersive sim that is Halo 2.
But Ash, this is also where peak gaming happens.
Peak gaming, finally.
Because the final encounter in this level is a giant room that contains like a bunch of the elite hierarchs and hunters fighting against like a bunch of brutes.
Yeah.
And you hear Cortana just simply say, "You might consider sitting this one out." And then you hear "Blow Me Away" by Breaking Benjamin.
Is this when it plays "Blow Me Away" by Breaking Benjamin, the song of a generation, the voice of a people?
Fucking hell yeah. And it's like, fuck no, I'm not going to sit this one out. I'm not
going to let Benjamin Burley down. Although it hasn't got the lyrics.
No, it doesn't. It's the instrumental version, but like, it's still great.
I remember when this happened when we were playing it, we stood up and saluted the TV.
We did. So I'm glad you remember at least a little bit of this game from those times.
I remember that, and I remember me going duh, 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 and complaining about elevators.
Yeah. Look, upon the replay I did for this episode, I don't fucking blame you at all. So, after this absolute banger of a moment, this great part...
Peak gaming, the height of our lives.
We immediately get an emotional whiplash as we go over to the Arbiter's levels, and it's playing somber music again. You're basically by yourself for a while, trying to find the tattered remnants of the elite forces while fighting off a bunch of brutes.
I'm getting the impression that the Arbiter's levels are much more like contemplative.
They are, yeah. Which does mean that unfortunately they're less action-packed and they're less exciting. The Master Chief's half of the game just feels a lot more fun, in my opinion. Like some people might prefer the Arbiter's halves. I much prefer the Master Chiefs. I think they're more consistent.
Yeah.
But I don't really have many notes for this one, so I'll just snap back over to High Charity, when suddenly Miranda Keys' ship suddenly goes into High Charity and crashes, and Cortana and the Master Chief are like, "What?
That's not good.
What the fuck is going on? Why are they here?" a bunch of pelicans fly out of it, crash into parts of the High Charity, and flood crawl out of them, and it's like, oh...
That's probably not ideal.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's not really going to want that to happen.
I think briefly before it plays that cutscene of the Prophet of Mercy being, like, left for dead by the Prophet of Truth, showing that he wants to make himself the only surviving member of the High Council. As Tartarus and Miranda get taken over to the control room in order to go and activate the Halo rings.
Yeah. Which is basically what Miranda exists in the story to do. Seemingly is to be used to activate Forerunner machines.
Yeah. So now they're just like, okay, fuck, we need to go after the Prophet of Truth, but we also have to deal with the fact the Flood is here. Yeah,
that's put a pin in things.
So Cortana is like, I'm going to stay in High Charity's system and see if I can blow it up in the event that the Flood goes out of control.
Yeah. Because obviously this is the point where it's like, maybe I shouldn't have trusted the Hive Mind or the Gravemind. Perhaps he had his own agenda.
Yeah. I'm not sure they had much of a choice, honestly. They were like bound up in tentacles. Like there wasn't very much they could do. But in comparison to the level before it with the Blow Me Away bit, this feels super short. This is just, hey, what if you had more of that previous level, but you had flood in it?
This kind of ties into your previous point, right, where some of the levels feel like they've just been cut in half.
Yeah. And this one feels like it was cut in half for, like, thematic's case. There's a few bits where it's trying to be spooky and atmospheric, and that's kind of neat. But for the most part, it's like, it's kind of the lesser of the two here, really.
Yeah, it's also weird because all this stuff is just setting up things that happen in Halo 3, right?
Yeah.
And this explains why Cortana is not with you at the beginning of Halo 3 and why she's on Hatchari and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, like, the Master Chief goes to leave to go after Truth by flying through a big green tube. And he says to her, like, once I'm back to Earth and I've dealt with Truth, and then Cortana cuts him off and goes, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it.
Damn.
While the Master Chief side of this act kind of, like, goes from its better level to its worst one, I would say the Arbiters is the opposite.
Yeah.
Where once you go back to the Arbiters level, you have a brief spell in a Wraith. Then you find, like, a few elites with a couple of hunters, and they go, no, Arbiter, don't shoot the hunters, they're on our side, and you fight alongside them for a bit, and it's kind of fun. Before you basically rescue Sergeant Johnson, who's next to a scarab.
Just hanging out.
And he gets into the scarab, pilots it, and goes, listen, you don't like me, I don't like you, but...
You don't like me? I like you. You do?
What part of me do you like the most? But Johnson's like, okay, but we still need to get into that control room and stop the ring from activating. So Johnson pilots a scarab while you get into a Banshee and kind of protect him for a bit. And he blows the doors off of the control room. And you go inside into, like, your last proper combat encounter, which is where you're by yourself in this...
This is it, is it?
Yeah, with a bunch of brutes in there.
Yeah.
And the thing is it is kind of a hard encounter, even with your active camo and your kind of, like, drop away things, because at this point in the game, brutes are carrying shotguns.
What, just normal human shotguns?
Yeah. They had a brute shotgun weapon that got cut.
Oh, but they had a requirement for brutes to have a shotgun-like weapon.
Yeah, so they flavored it like, the brutes like the human shotgun so much.
They found the human shotgun, and they were like, this is way more us than any gun the Covenant has.
Yeah, so if you're not careful, they will just turn around and just one-hit you.
Blast
and it's like, the best way to cheese that encounter is just to stay under the floorboards, basically, and pop out and hit them in the back and go back under it.
Because you're playing as the Arbiter here, right?
Yeah, this, like, you end the game playing as the Arbiter.
Really?
Yeah. You don't... Again, it's part of the reason why the Arbiter is looked upon so poorly. But
I love Master Chief, and I hate being a lizard.
But then you get into the control room proper. Tartarus has Miranda keys with him.
Yeah.
And he's going to make her activate the ring. And then
he's going to do it by double daring her.
I double dare you to activate the Halo ring. I can't turn away from that. It's what my father would have done.
My bug father.
My bug father who became a bug. Oh. The thing is that Guilty Spark is with them.
It's like choking them.
Yeah, like Tartarus is holding on to Guilty Spark. He's like
friend.
Yeah, he's been carrying him around like a volleyball.
Yeah, he's kind of fucking. He's kind of like dunk Guilty Spark into a basketball hoop.
Yeah. Boom. And the thing is that Johnson the Arbiter just asked Guilty Spark, like, "Hey, what will this thing do if they fire it?" And then he goes like, "Yeah, it's gonna wipe out life."
What do you think it's for, idiots?
And the Arbiter goes like, "Well, Tartarus, the prophets have betrayed us." And Tartarus, in that moment, very clearly knowing that this thing is going to kill everyone, is just like, "No."
I mean, I guess I can understand if he's like well, what do I care what this dumb orb says?
Yeah.
Who knows what his motivation for saying this is?
There are a few moments earlier in the game where, like, while Tartarus is super loyal to the prophets, they do kind of dismiss him a bit. And it's like, as the game
Well,
goes
they don't
on...
respect the brutes, do they? They see them as brutes.
Yeah. The Prophet of Truth specifically sees them as, like, a easier group to control,
Yeah,
so
than the
that's why
elites,
they
yeah.
replace them. At this point, Tartarus is like, I'm at the top of my game because of this, like, awful hierarchy. And I want to stay here, so I'm going to remain loyal to the prophets and do the great journey. Like, you're
Although
all
at this
lying.
point, isn't he remaining loyal to the prophet?
Yeah, the single prophet
Yeah.
that's alive. But then you have this boss fight with Tartarus, which sucks. And then...
No, not with
They-
Tartarus.
They stop Halo from firing, and then Guilty Spark goes, oh, because this place failed to fire, all of the other Halo rings in the galaxy are now available for remote detonation. They're all primed. And they go like, what, like from here? Like, no, from the Ark, of course. And they go, well, where is the Ark? Cut back to Master Chief. He's on the Prophet of Truth's ship.
Yeah.
And it's gone back to Earth, and a massive battle is engaged because more of the Covenant fleet is now at Earth. Master Chief goes like, this is Spartan 117, can anyone hear me? And they go, Master Chief, what are you doing on that ship? And he says, sir, finishing this fight. And then you play a sick level where you go through that ship and you go right up to Truth and you punch him in the face.
Yo.
And after a sick set piece where the ship like crash lands on Earth and
Oh,
you have like a Metal Gear Solid 4 ending cutscene where the Prophet of Truth is shirtless and you're having a sick fight.
And you inject the adrenaline into the other one to keep the fight going.
Yeah, and it's like a really sick
Yeah,
moment. Except that's not what happens.
No, that's the end of the game. It's over now. Go home.
Yeah, the Master Chief says finishing this fight, it cuts to black, it plays a fanfare, and then credits.
Please buy an Xbox 360.
Yeah, please wait 3 years for Halo 3. And, yeah, people were not happy about this.
No, although I kind of feel, in my heart of hearts, now that we all know that the main Halo story was told over a trilogy, it's like, how else was Halo 2 going to end? It's the middle part.
Well, this is where I pose to you, I think they still could have done a Halo 3, even if they had a level where you kill Truth.
Okay.
Because the thing is that the Ark is still a thing. The Halos are still primed, and it's not like that all of the Covenant are just going to go, oh fuck, the 3 prophets are dead, I guess our faith is over.
Yeah, they'll elect more prophets.
Yeah, they're in a civil war, and the alliance between the elites and humans could have been temporary. The fact that the Arbiter knows that what the rings will do is like a pretty good indication that they'll stay on the same side. But they still could have had the Covenant digging around on Earth with their overwhelming numbers. Maybe you get like a main villain that's a brute or something.
Yeah.
Who's like taking over.
But that worked out so well for Halo Wars 2.
It worked out so well for Halo Infinite.
Yeah, we all love that guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Barbara. I want to say Reshiram, but that's a Pokemon. I've forgotten his name.
It's Ratata.
Ratata. A single Ratata is in control of the Covenant.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
That'd be great if just a little low poly rat was controlling the Covenant in like a big mech, like piloting it.
Yeah.
But I think they could have done that.
Okay.
Because the Flood's still kicking about. The Gravemind is a thing. Like all of this is still there. You just wouldn't have
honestly,
Truth.
Truth in Halo 3 kind of feels pointless.
But that is the campaign of Halo 2.
Wow. And our description of it actually took as long as it would take to play through the game.
Feels like it. Have a let's play of it on in the background, like while you're listening to this.
I feel like we need to have a moment as well where we say, like, did we like the story in Halo 2? Did we feel like it was a well-told tale?
I personally think out of all of the mainline Halo games, I think that Halo 2 has the best story out of all of them.
Really?
Yeah, because I really like what it's doing with the Arbiter's half.
I feel like the way it escalates as well is really satisfying.
Yeah.
Like the way it becomes like, everything about the nature of this war by the end of Halo 2 has completely changed.
Yeah.
Like all the alliances, the status of the war, everything that you think you knew about it is different by the end.
Yeah. It's like a very eventful part of the story. Yeah. It's trying to be introspective about the Covenant. You don't even really get that in Halo 3.
Like, Halo 3 just kind of feels like it's just cleaning up all the loose ends from Halo 2.
Yeah. Halo 3 could have been really its own thing if we didn't have the Truth stuff going on. I think it would have benefited the whole series if it had been finished.
Yeah.
And I think on that merit, like, I do like it, and I can forgive some of its, like, little plot holes or things like that, where it's like, why do they always randomly go to the places they need to be?
Because they do, alright.
Why are the Flood back? Like, that kind of thing. Like,
because it's Destiny.
It's Destiny. We don't talk about Destiny. Come on.
This is a real marathon of an episode.
I mean, you're not wrong there. Good God, look at this runtime. I think that the campaign overall is solid enough that I could say that I like it.
Okay.
Even if I think that there are a lot of areas where I'm just like, why do you have these long elevator bits? They feel like they're just padding the game out.
Yeah, because
like,
I will say is not necessarily a Halo superfan like you are. I did find this campaign the most forgettable. Like, you describing the story makes it sound exciting, but I don't remember any of this stuff.
Well, I remember once we finished this game, we were having conversations on the side, and I was talking about how I was playing Dark Souls, and as soon as the credits rolled, you just put the controller down and went, can I see your Dark Souls character?
Go through that build.
And we didn't say anything about this game.
Like, for me, it really just kind of came and went.
I don't blame you, but, like, I think just because this was, like, a little secret connecting tissue of the Halo 2 story that I never got, I really like it. We can't talk about Halo 2 without talking about Legendary.
No, it couldn't be done. we would never think to do that.
Just for context, viewers, you might be wondering, why is the acoustic suddenly different? We're doing an addendum today.
Yeah, we blew it.
We after all that talk about Halo 2, I'd somehow forgotten to talk about Legendary, despite the fact that was like one of the big things I wanted to talk about.
We have finally noticed a flaw in our hitherto this point infallible podcast. This is the first time we've forgotten to mention something really important.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So can you tell me about the characters in Rule of Rose?
This is probably the first time, by my recollection, that we are going to talk about a difficulty setting in one of these games. Am I correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Surely this is just going to change some health modifiers. It's going to be a pretty minor smattering of changes. Why do we feel the need to talk about Legendary?
Well, to put it simply, Halo has 4 difficulty rankings in general. It's got easy, normal, heroic, which is its equivalent of hard, and legendary, which is its like very hard difficulty.
Nightmare, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Bungie actually considers heroic to be the way it's meant to be played.
Do they?
Like, if you want the experience that's true to Halo, you should play on heroic.
Yeah, this is the one we intended for.
Yeah. For context, we played this on normal because I didn't have as much faith that we would be able to get through it quickly.
Because I'm really good at Final Fantasy X.
Final Fantasy fingers Ash.
Yeah.
Unfortunately...
It's a weird side off of Salad Fingers.
Are each of his fingers a different, like, Final Fantasy protagonist?
That's horrifying to think about.
Which finger is Titus?
He's the ring finger.
He's the ring finger.
Because it's the most beautiful love story ever told.
That's true. He does fall in love, in beautiful love. Is Squall the other one?
Sure.
Yeah, this is one for you, viewer, who now knows who Squall is.
This one goes out to Squall Guy. Meet me in an alley.
What?
We'll talk about Squall.
The point was going to be for a fight.
No, I wouldn't fight my fellow Squall heads.
No, Squall Gang rise.
Now those lightning weirdos, they gotta go down.
Generally speaking, like, the difficulty modifiers don't just affect some, like, health modifiers, but that's the general gist of it.
Yeah.
They will affect enemy behavior, so enemies will fire their weapons faster, elites are more likely to dodge, grunts are more likely to throw grenades, and in a few fringe cases, higher ranked versions of certain enemies will appear in place of lower ranked ones. So, like,
because obviously we talked before about how Halo's kind of moment-to-moment gameplay loop is involving the squads of enemies and how they interact with another.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the legendary difficulty affects the way they interact with one another, making it thus more difficult to combat them?
Yeah, it's kind of more how they interact with you, I would say. Because as I kind of mentioned, like, elites are more likely to dodge out the way of things. Like, they've kind of got a predetermined modifier in their heads of, like, if you chuck a grenade at them, they might dodge out the way.
Okay.
Halo 2 is, without a fucking shadow of a doubt, the hardest legendary difficulty of any of the Bungie Halos.
Wow.
Reach gets close, but I think Reach with all the skulls on is probably the hardest.
Can I take a moment to scrape back a shred of reputation I might have among shooter fans?
By all means.
When I was a teenager, Connor, I was not the anime loser that you see before you today. When I was 14 and Halo Reach came out, I actually got the achievement for beating the entire campaign on Legendary by myself.
Oh my god.
And that was fucking, like, balls to the wall, like, super incredibly hard.
Yeah, this is coming back to me now, because I remember you telling me it took you, like, what was it, like 4 or 5 hours to do the last mission?
Yeah, because there's a bit when you're, like, trying to run into this warehouse to get to the turrets that you use to cover the Pillar of Autumn's escape.
Yeah.
And, like, 4 elites just come out of it as you approach it, and those fucking 4 elites, man.
Yeah.
I see them in my dreams. Those are my 4 horsemen.
No, yeah.
But you're telling me that in Halo 2 that shit would have been even harder?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of difficult to try and, like, distinguish why.
Yeah.
But I have two prevailing kind of like leads on it.
Okay.
The first...
Are you a detective? Are you like investigating witnesses? Like, what do you think about Halo 2?
What was your experience with Halo 2 Legendary? I think that one is that you have... For some reason, you're a lot more brittle in Halo 2 compared to other games. Like, your shields seem to be okay, but your health is like nothing.
Okay.
And the second reason is I'm pretty damn sure this was that era of gaming where playtesters just became far too good at their own games. And so they were just like, yeah, just tune it up a bit more.
Yeah.
But this was kind of, I think this might have been a big reason why I decided that we weren't going to do Heroic when we played.
Okay.
Because I played through Legendary with my friend Erndil during the COVID 2020 lockdowns.
Yeah.
We played Legendary together on that, and it was an experience. It was a lot. And I think because of that, I was like, okay, Ash, we'll play normal. I think we can do normal. That's fine. Because Legendary, oh my fucking god. Everything that makes these enemies hard that I might have already talked about before is just amplified to fucking 11. You think the brutes are a pain in the ass in like normal difficulty? They are fucking insane on Legendary.
Yeah.
You think jackal snipers are maybe a little bit of overkill? They're one-hitting you. They're one fucking hitting you. Just across the map, single hit scan weapon, just like, bye-bye, you're gone.
You, the Master Chief.
The fucking Master Chief, you've got a brand new suit. Like, they make a whole
You've got
point.
a brand new suit.
They do, they make a whole point of you going into the armory and putting on that new helmet and everything, and it's fucking dog shit compared to your old one.
That sounds like military infrastructure, if you ask me.
This post was made by Mark V Gang. Best helmet, I'll fight all of you.
Okay.
Hayabusa, get out of here. I think the best way to describe how tough Legendary is with three specific examples that, like, I think are going to sum it all up. The first is when you are in New Mombasa itself. And for those of you who played Halo 2, you're like, oh, okay, Jackal Sniper Alley, right?
Yeah,
First time you go against them.
I can see it now.
But I'm not talking about the alleys. I'm instead talking about a bit shortly after the tank section, when you kind of come out of these underground roads. And you go into this, it's like a park or a nature reserve or something like that. Basically, you go up to this nature reserve and you see a Marine driving around in circles in a Warthog, trying not to get sniped. And as you kind of like enter into reserve, he'll go, hey, I could use you on the gun, Chief.
Do you think that guy 5 minutes ago got the objective survive marker?
From Reach. Yeah. He was like, oh God.
That's bad.
So he's desperately trying to stay alive, while like 1 million fucking jackal snipers and elites and drones and everything is everywhere.
Yeah, descending upon this point.
My experience of like going into this area is like, oh, there's a warthog. I'm dead. I got sniped. Okay, I gotta remember where that sniper came from. Okay, I will shoot you. Oh, never mind. There was another one that shot me. Okay, I'll shoot that one. I'll turn around to get the next one. I'm dead. Okay, fuck. It just becomes like trial and error, memorize everything, Edge of Tomorrow shit. Where you just...
Edge of Tomorrow.
Where you are just like having to become the fucking perfect warrior.
Yeah.
And every single goddamn time you die, Erndil and I would just keep repeatedly hearing, I could use you on the gun, Chief. Because Halo 2... when you die and you have a co-op partner, it doesn't just, like, let you respawn on the co-op partner. It restarts you from a checkpoint.
Wow.
Regardless. Yeah, regardless. Of
Even in the MCC?
Even in MCC.
They didn't, like, line that up with the other games?
No.
Wow.
We were here for ages on this one part of the fucking level. And, like, as a result, that quote, the could use you on the gun, Chief, is just on my fucking mind the entire damn time.
I want to see those wings coming off.
It was like that. It was like that, but you weren't... But imagine that, but you were dying every 10 seconds.
I felt like I was dying every 10 seconds during that, but...
The second one might come as a slight surprise to some people, but it is
Number 2 will shock you.
It is actually the Prophet of Regret fight. Legendary, they actually amplify it so that, like, you have to hit him a lot, and after a couple of hits, he will push you off the chair and, like, generate a shield, so it feels like an actual fight.
Right, yeah.
And that part of it is, like, perfectly fine. Like, if anything, I think that part of it's actually fun. What's not fun is the fact that he has infinitely spawning honor guard elites with swords that will constantly rush up to you and kill you instantly.
Yeah.
There are grunts everywhere chucking grenades at you, firing fuel rods at you. There's like jackals everywhere. It's a constant cavalcade of enemies going over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Which and
but there's no relief. It's just constant throwing dudes at you.
Yeah, and it's not like the objective is just survive that onslaught and get to the Prophet and hit him a couple times and you win. You have to, like, fight off these enemies, get to the Prophet, he'll push you off, then more of them will come, then you've just got to do that again and again and again.
Like, you have to be very proactive.
And every time you start that room, the Prophet will go, "How dare you interrupt my sermon?" So we would keep fucking going on this gauntlet, and then an elite would sneak up behind us, and he would fucking just cut us down into ribbons. And then we would go back to the beginning, and he'd go, "How dare you interrupt my sermon?"
Well,
and
you kept interrupting it.
And
You never heeded his wishes, so...
Well, I guess not, and I guess it's just my fucking Sisyphean punishment.
Oh, yeah.
But fucking fine. The only saving grace we had together is that there was one Marine we managed to keep alive prior to this point that we gave a beam rifle to. It was a Marine sniper that we just nicknamed Betty. And she was honestly like having a third player. Because Marine's accuracy is pretty good when you give them sniper weapons, so she could just like kill elites pretty well and like deal with anything smaller than that. So like it was super handy to have her, and if any time she died, our run was cursed to fucking fail. Because she was a weirdly pivotal part of our strategy. In retrospect, it's kind of fun, but in the moment, it was infuriating.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah.
The third one is the beginning of the level Gravemind, which is when you go into Hive Charity. And I don't think I gave proper context for the beginning of the High Charity level. The Prophet of Truth is like filming a broadcast to the Covenant going like, "Hey everyone, we got the activation index, that's pretty cool." And there's a little grunt on a camera, like filming him. Master Chief gets teleported behind him, sneaks up to the grunt and goes, "Boo!" And the grunt like throws his arms up and drops his weapon and like runs away. The Prophet of Truth goes down this elevator immediately, and his two, like, brute guards, the first time you actually fight brutes properly, appear in front of him to, like, and the level starts immediately at that point. So, in most difficulties, you start getting shot at a bit, whatever, it's fine, you'll take a couple hits and you'll kind of get out the way. On Legendary, if you are not moving, frame 1, you're dead. You are fucking gone.
Well, you got to be holding up on the analog stick while the cutscene's loading.
Oh, more like left or right. Like, if you go up, you're just running into their fucking bullets. They are going to, like, rip you to shreds. So that was another bit we kept dying at over and over again because it required us to figure out, like, oh god, we need to be quick. Like, we can't dilly-dally. Because here's the thing, when it comes to the list, which is primarily about our experience of the game, we do mostly just have the campaign to talk about, but there is a multiplayer component that was really important to this game's, like...
And listen, if we're going to talk about the Geist multiplayer, we're going to talk about the Halo multiplayer.
Hell yeah.
Although, there's not necessarily that much to say other than to be like, yeah, it's good.
The thing is that the campaign had things that were disappointing, like, oh, you're playing as the Arbiter for half of it, and some of the levels aren't particularly good, and the ending is really shit.
Yeah.
But the multiplayer was like, this set the stage for what Xbox Live would eventually become on the 360.
Yeah.
Because, like, this had clans and party chats and, like...
DLC.
Like, it even had a voice masking feature over the microphones.
Yeah, we've all seen that video.
But that was built into, like, Halo 2.
Yeah.
Like, a bunch of this stuff wasn't just part of the general Xbox Live. These were specific to Halo 2, which is really funny.
It's honestly so crazy to think that Halo 1 didn't have Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, like, local network stuff.
It was, yeah, because Halo 1 had Team Deathmatch, which was referred to as Team Slayer.
Yeah.
And
Slayer.
And it had, like, Capture the Flag and all of this stuff. But Halo 2, putting that online was, like, a really important step to, like, kind of establish online gaming on consoles.
Yeah, exactly. It was huge for that.
Yeah, because prior to that, LAN parties and playing online was mainly a PC thing.
Yeah.
Even if, like, the PS2 and the GameCube were kind of getting there, but they didn't do much with it.
Hey, you're not a Phantasy Star Online fan?
I can't say I've ever touched it.
Yeah, don't know the GameCube broadband adapter.
But there's lots of little things in this that are kind of neat. I mean, the fact you play as the Arbiter in the campaign means you can play as an elite in the multiplayer as well. Yeah, you can be a Spartan or an elite, which is fun.
Excellent.
And also, this game does kind of have a reputation of being like the Smash Bros. Melee of Halo games, if that makes sense.
Where it was the most real.
Yeah. It had like a vibrant competitive scene that was largely based on unintended techniques. Glitches where you could melee someone in the face with the battle rifle, and if you like press a button to cancel the animation, you can then immediately shoot them in the head and kill them.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like a bunch of tech like that.
I mean, that is my only real shared knowledge of the Halo 2 multiplayer, is the battle rifle being disgusting.
Besides from maybe... Yeah, I would say this is like the second most overly dominant like weapon in like a Halo sandbox. The Halo 1 pistol is up there, but it's not quite there. I would actually say Reach's DMR is the worst.
DMR is fucked up. The DMR ruined my childhood.
The DMR divorced my parents.
DMR fucked my wife.
There was, like, some pretty good maps in, like, Halo 2, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Like, some of them would get...
So much so that most of them will come back in future Halo games.
They would, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Lockout, Ascension, Midship, Sanctuary.
Dude, that ship is so mid.
Ivory Tower became Reflection in Halo Reach.
Yeah.
And Zanzibar. You know
Zanzibar Land,
Do you remember the map in Halo 3 with the big fan?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, that was in this game first. It was called Zanzibar in this.
What was it called in Halo 3?
Last Resort. Because it's like a resort.
Yo.
Like, a couple maps returned from Halo 1, like, they bring back Blood Gulch.
Yeah.
And it's like...
It's
pretty...
called Coagulation.
Yeah, every newer iteration of Blood Gulch has, like, a new blood pun. Like, hemorrhage in Halo Reach and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's cute.
There are a few stinkers. There's a map called Foundation, which is just a completely concrete map with, like, 4 corners, and it's just like, do you have the battle rifle? Cool, shoot everyone when they die. And then there's, like, burial mounds that has never been recreated, I think, like, because it's just, like, a big orange blob.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's a really solid lineup overall, and I think, like, the expansion maps are really cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Gemini and Elongation and Warlock as,
Yeah.
like, a couple of examples. Backwash as well.
So add that to your ThunderPsyker lore. His favourite Halo 2 maps. That's the last piece of the puzzle.
It was, like, a really fun,
Yeah.
like, multiplayer sandbox. I mean, we played a little bit of Slayer, and it was a real chaotic energy when we were playing 1v1.
Honestly, playing Halo split screen multiplayer is just always immediately fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so perfect for that kind of thing.
Yeah. I like it split screen and online.
Yeah,
like, I think they both have...
no, Halo multiplayer, just generally, no matter how you're doing it, is always fun.
Yeah, yeah. I did actually run a multiplayer game online for a few people on a little game night Discord that I have, which isn't a public Discord. It's kind of like a closed sort of... You can
It's gotta be really cool to get in, so don't even bother.
Because I want to do more stuff like this, and I had a lot of fun playing Halo 2 with the viewers of the channel.
Yeah, with the boys.
I am going to put a link to that Discord in the pinned comment here, so if you ever want to join us for, like, some game nights, then you are more than welcome to.
Yeah.
They're not super frequent, but I do occasionally do these things for, like, bigger games like Halo or stuff like that. There is a lot more that could be said about multiplayer, but it's not particularly relevant to the list.
No.
So I think we should probably consider just talking briefly about this game's presentation and maybe, like, get to wrapping it up.
Most of the sound, because honestly, the sound in Halo is always incredible.
Oh, Halo 2's soundtrack
Yeah.
This is my favorite Halo soundtrack. I think this is the best of the original 3, and while ODST and Reach have some really good songs as well, I just think this one wins me over.
Yeah.
There's some fucking amazing, like, action music when you get things like Impend or Heretic/Hero, Earth City. They're really good tracks.
Welcome to Earth City.
Earth City.
Arizona.
I love that it's called that. I think they named it that track before they figured out where it was going to be set. Then there's, like, the calmer music, like Peril, which goes like dum 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 when you're, like, sneaking around.
Yeah, that one's great. Yeah, I love that one. Yeah.
In Amber Clad, which is, like, got the sick bass line going on. Or there's, like, the melancholic tracks, like Remembrance and Unforgotten, where it's like which is like the main menu music, and it's oh man,
dude, Halo main menu music, just why even bother? Why even show up to the competition when they're doing stuff over there?
Yeah. That being said, Halo 2 soundtrack is a little unique.
Okay.
So this was one of the...
Talk about Marty and his dumb friends.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the first game soundtracks that actually had, like... Basically, someone published the soundtrack separately from the game.
Okay.
A guy called Nile Rodgers came into it, and he's a guy who's, like, worked with, like, Maroon 5, and he did, like, a lot of, like, real albums and that sort of thing. And he wanted to be part of the creative process of Halo 2's music, like, because he wanted to create, like, a 2-disc album out of the music from it.
Yeah.
And he did say to Marty O'Donnell, like, listen, if you need industry contacts, let me know. I can get you Pink.
I'll hit you up. If Pink is on the Halo 2 soundtrack,
yeah, that's straight up what, like, he offered that. And Marty O'Donnell was like, I mean, I'd love, like, a cool guitarist to come in and see if he could do some things. So a guy called Steve Vai came in, who is a guitarist that's done a lot of stuff with, like, artists like Alice Cooper and like, King Crimson and Whitesnake, like, a lot of, like, legends of rock.
Yeah.
And
a lot of people who are so big in rock, they get to be JoJo stans.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like, I was about to say Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper is not a stan in JoJo. And there is a great video online where they were like, okay, Steve Vai, we're just going to play the Halo theme, play a sick guitar riff over it. And he's like, you got it. And as soon as they start playing, like, the very first notes that he plays are, like, the exact ones you hear in Halo 2. Like, it was supposed to be, like, an hour-long freestyle session of just try it again. He nailed it, like, with those first notes. And it was like, oh my god, you're on to fucking something. It is awesome.
Yeah.
We've also had Breakin' Benjamin coming in
legends.
at it. There is a track in the soundtrack which has the opening bells to Blow Me Away in it.
Hell yeah.
And I really wonder which of them came first. Like, they must have been working together. Like, who sampled who?
Who came first? Breaking Benjamin or the Bells?
But then there's Incubus.
Yeah, that was the other one I was trying to find.
And the movements of the Odyssey. There are 4 tracks on the Halo disc soundtrack that do not appear in the game. Actually, 5.
Yeah.
And some of them are called the movements of the Odyssey. There's like the first movement of the Odyssey, the second movement of the Odyssey. The first one does appear in the game. It appears in one of the Arbiter's missions.
Okay.
But the other 3 don't.
Well, because Marty was just doing stuff, right? He's just trying to make, like, his space opera music in the background and just doing whatever he wants.
Yeah. Like, apparently he improvised, like, he thought up of the Halo theme in, like, the car driving to work. And he was like, whatever you have Gregorian chants. And they're like, sure. Like, Michael Salvatore, which is, like, the other mastermind behind the Halo soundtrack, was like, yeah?
Do it.
But the movements of the Odyssey just, they sound so weird. Like, they're good music in their own right.
But maybe not for a Halo game.
Yeah, it's like, it starts out being like, oh, okay, we've got some weird, almost jazzy stuff going on, and then it sounds like Spyro music, and then it sounds like a track from Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is happening? So I can see why they didn't make the cut, but you can enjoy them.
Yeah, they're still out there for you to enjoy.
Yeah. It's just, I'm so fond of it. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's just one of the classics.
There's also a surprising amount of, like, VA talent in this, because, like, there's Keith David as the Arbiter, who, like, you might know from, like, The Thing, or, like, he's, like, in Community, and that sort of thing. Then there's, like, Ron Perlman.
Really?
He voices Lord Admiral Hood.
Damn.
Yeah, and John DiMaggio is in this game as well, but I guess he was doing, like, everything.
He was in Final Fantasy 12, so he was everywhere.
But then there's kind of the visual element of Halo 2.
There's visuals in this game. Colors.
Here's the thing.
Lay on me.
I'm going to give you a hot take on Halo 2.
Give me a hot Halo take.
I don't think this game looks that great, and I think it's because they tried to do all that stuff with the original engine and had to, like, smush it into, like, the final version.
No, I 100% agree. I think this is the most visually boring Halo game. It's so brown most of the time.
The thing is that my main memories of it is, like, oranges and from, like, Earth City and, like, purples from High Charity and greys from Quarantine Zone.
Yeah.
But there's some stylistic stuff that's kind of neat. You know, there's, like, some really good cinematic shots in some of the cutscenes, and, like, there's these really neat kind of, like, grandiose 2D backgrounds in some of the levels, but it's not particularly polished, really. And it's a shame. They were trying to do real-time reflections and, like, stencil shadows and stuff in that original engine, and they never got a chance to really do it.
Yeah.
But if you do want to play Halo 2 with a fresher lick of paint on it, there is a version.
There is another.
On Halo the Master Chief Collection, 10 years after the release of Halo 2, they did an anniversary version.
They did, and they didn't give the people making it 1 month to make it with a budget of $5 that they did with Combat Evolved.
Yeah, Halo 1's anniversary is, like, really not that great because of how rushed it was, but they took their time with Halo 2 because they were like, okay, hold on a minute, we can't do that again.
The Xbox One is kind of on fire right now, so let's put work into this.
We need to give people a reason to buy this. Pull out Halo.
Oh boy, did they sure nail the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
Came out flawless.
That has its own problems. I mean, in that public game night, like, I couldn't load into a single game of Blood Gulch without it, like, failing to load in the teams.
Yeah, when I was trying to play Halo 2 for this podcast, I just kept hard crashing back to the Xbox dashboard, and I was just like, oh, cool.
Ah, God.
Somehow still not fixed this pile of crap.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right?
Lay on me.
For those of you who listen to the Crash episode, you'll know my feelings on remakes.
He hates every one of them. Resident Evil 2 Remake, get him out of here. Except
for Halo 2 Anniversary, which I think is overall a pretty good remake.
Great.
Like, it feels like it's stylistically faithful to the original. Like, the cutscenes they have Blur Studios do are, like, not only super pretty in their own right, they are also just better paced than some of the Halo 2 ones. And while I think they kind of overcomplicate things in a few areas, like the sound design gets a bit funny, like there's a bit where Sergeant Johnson like cocks a machine gun and they add a bunch of computerized sounds over it, and it's like, it's an M60, why would it make that sound? I think overall it's like pretty good. Like the Earth City levels and High Charity and Cairo Station look really, really good.
Yeah.
It's like Delta Halo's got a few bits where I'm like not so sure on, but that underwater bit in Anniversary Edition does look fucking sick. I really like the way they do that.
Away.
It blew me away. I genuinely think that Halo 2 Anniversary might be the way to play Halo 2 if you really can't stand the way this game would look otherwise.
Especially since when we played Halo 2 on your original Xbox, it had massive performance issues.
It did.
It really struggled to run in some of those later areas.
It's not a looker, and
No.
Halo 2 Anniversary might be dolled up enough to really let you give it a chance and make it feel like this is a classic Halo game in a modern style.
Yeah, and you can play it with the original graphics at a higher frame rate if that's your preference as well. So you have both options.
Yeah. Well, I've talked you to death.
Yeah, I'm dead now.
I would love to hear your closing thoughts on Halo 2.
I mean, it's alright.
Yeah, this didn't inspire as much wonder and imagination as I kind of hoped when I introduced this to you.
No, this is probably like, of the Halos that I've played, obviously I've not played 4, 5, or Infinite yet. This is my least favourite one. Like, I just didn't really get much enjoyment out of this game. It just kind of felt like a middle, awkward chapter.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think from our perspective, it does feel like a proto Halo 3, right?
Yeah, it does.
Given we have such a stronger connection to that. And I was kind of being like, hey, can't I capture that magic you've already had and gone from like a time gone by?
And like, I think the thing for the other Halo games for me is that I also have accompanying memories of playing them multiplayer. And that really, I honestly think like every Halo game apart from Reach, I mostly just like them for the multiplayer. So just playing through Halo's 2 campaign, I was like, yeah, that was a Halo campaign.
Yeah, no, custom games ended up, it's like a whole other kettle of fish from like the good old Halo 3 days.
One's going to be crazy.
I'm looking forward to that one a lot because I think that'll be a little bit more like...
Yeah, I have more to say about Halo 3 than I do Halo 2.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't dislike this game, but it's definitely one of the most forgettable games on the list for me.
Well, Halo 2 will be the arbiter facing the High Council that is you as we move on to the rankings then, I think. I imagine
with our new, innovative, numeral-based ranking system that we invented.
So, the Prophet of Regret... Please provide what you believe Halo 2 would have in quality.
Quality.
Out of 5 stars, how many stars would you give it?
I'm going to say 3.5.
That's really funny because that was also what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I like Halo 2.
Everyone likes Halo 2.
But there are issues with it. There are those kind of lulls in its campaign. I don't think it's the most perfectly refined version of it on a visual aspect and that kind of thing. Like Girth, yeah, a very important part of a game.
The girth isn't there.
Unfortunately not, but like I still really like it. Like it's shy of a 4, really shy of a 4, but I can't. I think back to Quarantine Zone and like the long elevators and Sacred Icon and stuff, and I'm just like, I can't do it.
I think if I had been there, on the streets 2004 doing Xbox Live matches of Halo 2, I'd maybe feel a bit better about it, but just playing the campaign in 2021, I was like, okay, this is fine, but it's not blowing me away.
Yeah, I've got friends who their favourite games are like Halo 2 and Reach.
Yeah.
And it's because they played the multiplayer for those when they were a new thing. And I think that because I missed that boat, it's not quite there for me.
And also we didn't play the MCC collection of Halo 2, so it was like the stanky old Xbox version, and it was a bit like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to buy an Xbox One. But Prophet of Mercy, please, I beg, I plead of you, what would you give this game on interesting?
I'm gonna give it like a 1.5.
Seriously?
Like a 2, maybe. This game isn't interesting to me, man. I don't fucking care about this game. I'm only giving it a 2 because of its development. If it was just the game itself, I'd be like, it's Halo 2. It's the exact thing you'd expect it to be.
This is the thing, right?
Come at me with your justifications.
I think for its development, for the bold decisions it made, for the bits of story that it does for like its own world, for how it revolutionized multiplayer, although we didn't really get to talk about it much, like the steps it takes there, and the way that it changed up the Halo genre, maybe I'm giving this
Halo genre.
The Halo series, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm putting this too high on a pedestal because I'm looking at it from a very narrow lens, but I think on interesting, this is also a 3.5.
Damn. Huge score.
It's not Rule of Rose. Okay, I'll give you that.
Finally, you admit it.
But to me, I think this is the most interesting Halo game.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm really into Halo 5 Guardians.
That one might do well and interesting,
that one
honestly.
Has a subtitle.
Prophet of Truth. Please give it to me. Please show it to me.
Yeah.
On fun. I beg of you to complete the great journey.
2.5.
No!
It was fun. I went but I'll put it like this. It wasn't even the most fun we've had playing a Halo game together.
Well, no, but that's because it's a high bar, you know?
Oh, you little rascal.
I love these games. I can't give this any lower than 4 for fun.
Alright.
Like, again, those few bits in the campaign kind of blow. It's a little rough around the edges, but I do really enjoy this game.
Well, don't worry. You'll get yours back when we do next week's game.
Well, speaking of the number 2, Ash.
I've got a real treat for you next week.
Oh, yeah?
Next week. Next list week. Well, you know that I bring a lot of slower-paced games to the table, so I thought I'm going to bring you a fast-paced Japanese action game that's all about first-person shooting.
Ooh, okay.
I thought I'd meet you in the middle.
Right, that's interesting, because it's not really a genre I see a lot of Japanese developers tackling.
No, but this is a really bold game. It's a really innovative game. It's not like anything we've ever seen before.
Ooh.
It's about a sad girl in Japan, Connor. I got you.
Well, she's in Japan. That's
She's
at
in
least
Japan,
a unique twist.
Next time, we will be talking about Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly, because it's been one game since we talked about a horror game. But
Ash,
what's up?
I'm looking forward to talking to you later about Fatal Frame, where you get your sweet revenge
That's
on
right,
this
finally.
Cavalcade of speech from me.
When I tell you about the ancient ritual and the Shinto sacrifices.
I'm looking forward to
It's
it.
gonna be huge. It's gonna be amazing.
Well, everyone, thank you again for listening. Have yourselves a fantastic night.
Make good choices.
And take care.
Ciao.